Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Marion.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Justin in the booth. Say what's up, Justin.
What's up, Justin?
Justin will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We have got a cool show for y'all today. This week, the SCG Tour Online is back, featuring Innistrad Midnight Hunt Standard, and the metagame looks very dynamic and really cool. And the emerging deck from last week, sort of the new public enemy number one, is Izzet Turns. A deck that looks a lot like Izzet Dragons, except it doesn't have the dragon part of it.
Yeah. And I mean, there is versions that play just egg. There's versions that just play Goldspan Dragon. There's versions that don't play any creatures at all. So they're all kind of similar, but yeah, this one's dragon free.
I would say the most popular version is dragon free.
Yeah,
you're right. There are definitely versions that play one or the other. I don't think I've seen a version that plays both because you don't really have room.
Yeah, I mean, actually, that's the deck that won that Community Cup event, played both. And
then it's just Izzet Dragons, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't play Divide by Zero, essentially.
Yeah,
so it kind of changes that dynamic.
Right? Did it have iteration?
Nope, they wouldn't have iterations. Yeah, that is just kind of the old template, I guess. So yeah, good point.
Yeah, they're very much two different decks. I think they play out quite differently. Izzet Dragons, was sort of this mid-range deck that had the ability to get underneath decks like Emergent Sultai Ultimatum and even Dimir Rogues to an extent. Where you
played a tempo style game.
A tempo game, but not one. It wasn't tempo in the way like Delver is, where it's getting underneath you right from the beginning.
Yeah,
it could play from behind against aggro like a control deck, and then really turn the corner very quickly. This Izzet Turns deck is playing much more of a control game plan.
It's a control deck.
Yeah, it's playing straight from behind, but it's playing a control game with a combo finish, which we've talked about many times in this show as being an excellent strategy in the abstract if you can make it work.
Yeah.
And here, and the key to making it work is your combo pieces have to have functionality while you're still playing as a control deck.
Yeah.
And that is very much the case here. Galvanic Iteration can just double up a removal spell if you need it to. And that's perfectly fine in the early game. On turn 4, you can go like Dragon's Rage and copy it, Dragon's Rage. I guess you have to do it.
Or there's another hotline that me and Brad were talking about yesterday that we can do, is you Galvanic Iteration and Allrins, and then the next turn, you burn the Galvanic Iteration, burn the house with its flashback. 20. Exactly, with the birds and the hasty 3/3s.
So you have 4 birds and 6 devils and 2 turns. So 10 times 2 is 20. That makes sense. Math checks out.
Math checks out. So that is, one reason I submitted this before me and Brad were even chatting about that. And that is a reason to maybe push a little bit towards more burn down the house instead of all the Battle of Frost and Fire.
Yeah.
Maybe 3-2 in some regard in one of the directions, but
that said,
regardless, it's pretty cool.
Battle of Frost and Fire allows you to bounce it with Divide by Zero if you want to reuse it. So there's strengths and weaknesses.
And it's a better Wrath on turn 5. Unless, of course, they have a 5/5.
Yeah, which few decks do.
Yeah, 5/5 Ren is like the only thing.
5/5 Ren, maybe an Imrith still floating around. You don't see a ton of those, but that's definitely a thing. Typically, the combo is with Hall of the Storm Giant. And so, is it Hall? It's Hall of Storm Giants, isn't it?
Hall of the Storm Giants.
No, it's just Hall of Storm Giants. It gets me every time. It's unbelievable. Every single other one in that cycle is like blank of the blank.
Yeah.
And it's singular, and this one is just Hall of Storm Giants. I don't understand why. I'm sure there's a lore reason. I'm sure 7 people in chat know, and they're really mad at me right now.
I mean, Binding the Old Gods is the same thing. That should be Binding of the Old Gods, right? I mean, I got that wrong today. I'll still be getting it wrong. But
Hall of Storm Giants, gives you that 7/7 when you have those 2 turns. Off of Epiphany and Iteration. So that's sort of the combo. But Allrun's Epiphany and Iteration just perfectly solid cards by themselves. So it's proven to be a very, very strong deck. Definitely the deck to beat right now. And so we're going to put it to the test, see, if there are some decks that can stand up to it. Or if it's really a menace right now, and we're going to have to innovate in the coming weeks to try to overcome it. Yeah,
and I think that's what it is. It's like last week it was these mopey Azeka's Chariot, Ren and 7 decks that were trying to be a little bit more grindy, and they were it was just this arms race of trying to be a little bit bigger than each of the other decks. And then this deck comes in and is like, try to be as big as you want. The bigger you go, the easier the matchup is here. So now we're going to see that flip, where now we're going to see all these decks go a lot lower and try to do things like Disdainful Stroke in your Gruul deck, with pathways, try to be hyper aggressive with mono green. You know, a lot of different things that have to focus on dealing with Alrund's Epiphany decks, specifically the ones that have divide by zeros. So, you know, going to see a lot of overcorrecting, I would hope, this weekend. And the people that overcorrect to beat the deck, I think, are the people that are going to have success in this tournament. But the people that don't, and they don't come prepared to try to beat this deck, I think will just get run over by this deck, is what I anticipate for the SCG events this weekend.
It's a pretty well-oiled machine, so you definitely have to come prepared.
Yeah.
And you're right, that's a classic metagame development. And so the decks that I'm playing today are all decks that should be able to effectively get underneath it, not necessarily going, super far under, because you still need to compete with the rest of the metagame.
Yeah.
And that's the tension this week is exactly how far can I go to beat Izzet Turns.
When you can beat other stuff.
Yeah, without sacrificing my matchups against the rest of the field.
So you're not going to play mono black control, huh? I'm sorry, y'all. I know it's a fan favorite. Everybody loves playing those decks, but don't play it right now. It is so bad against this deck that it's kind of laughable.
Yeah, definitely rough.
Yeah.
I'm going to be starting with a little Gruul Werewolves, but Teamer Werewolves, technically. Have some Disdainful Strokes in the sideboard. And, this is a Chariot Ren and 6 deck, which we talked about as sort of the backdrop for the rise of Izzet Turns. But this version of the deck is more aggressive, as the Werewolf versions tend to be. Werewolf pack leader and Kessig Naturalist on turn 2 get the beatdown started early as opposed to playing Mana Acceleration. And, we're playing the Disdainful Strokes in the sideboard to really solidify that early advantage. So, should be a much closer matchup than most other Gruul lists. So, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and the last thing about my deck, I am going to be playing this is just the version I've been sculpting, as far as I played this deck a lot last weekend for the standard metagame challenges and did pretty well in them. And there were just things I didn't like. Fading Hope being the major one. Like, I think that card is cute, but I just don't think Unsummon is where I want to be. And the one thing I was missing, because there were so many green decks in the format, is just Burning Hands in the main to kind of replace that. So I made some changes with that. I added a Snow mana base and put some Frostbites in the board for hyper-aggressive decks. I'm not adjusting the mana base in any other way. I'm not doing Faithless Haven. I'm not trying to be a dedicated Snow deck. I'm just trying to be like, okay, maybe I'll deal 3, if not, instead of Fading Hope, just 2 damage on the draw.
Just play your basics, and the occasional upgrade to 3 damage will be worth more than play with fire going upstairs, because you're a control deck. You're never going to send that shock upstairs. Exactly.
Yeah, very well said. So this is the deck I would play moving forward, with the one exception that I was saying at the beginning of the show, that maybe Burn Down the House and Battle of Frost and Fires. I might want to add more Burn Down the Houses to combo with Galvanic Iteration, because that's sweet. So...
definitely sweet.
Yeah.
I will be on the play here for game 1, since the marbles are on Corey's side.
Ooh, and this is my last show. I have next week off for Worlds, so we're going to have Todd in on Tuesday and then Brad in on Thursday. So I have to defend these marbles, because you can't be trusted to keep them anymore. I guess technically they're still Todd, so you have to get them back on Tuesday.
Yes. Not a great hand here on my side.
Okay.
I really want to start my curve on turn 2 in this matchup. I don't have a 2-drop.
Okay.
But I have a pretty reasonable mix of lands and spells, which is nice.
That is indeed nice.
I'm going to try it.
I'm going to keep mine too. Slightly awkward. I have to play a really good spell in this matchup as a land, more than likely, but that's okay.
Got a lead on a Rockfall Veil.
Alrighty. Yeah, I love the Rockfall Veils. Just being able to, especially in this deck where you don't have a lot of 1-drops, it's so great having this and then layer on 2 and then another.
And then all your lands are on tap.
And then, life is good. Unless you just keep top decking layers, I guess. But
which I tend to do.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to play Mountain and I'll pass to you.
Forest. 2-drop.
Oh, wow.
Was that good?
Good for you.
You're up.
All right. I got a haul and I'll pass to you.
Okay, I will play a... Don't have any blue cards in the main, so this will be a Lava Glide Pathway.
Well, someone that's actually very artistic, will you make this into a alternate Deck the Halls of Storm Giants? A nice Christmas haul. You a fan of that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I grew up on a Christmas tree farm. Christmas is kind of a big deal in the Marion household.
Okay.
I'm going to cast a Tovlar, very threatening card with a wolf already here.
Tovlar, yeah, that resolves, but let's get that out of there.
I'll get in for 2 with the wolf.
All right, I'll take it. 18.
Pass the turn.
I have a land for you, and I'll pass to you. I'm going to be doing a lot of draw go. It's just kind of what I do.
Yep. Play a Timberground Pathway.
Okay.
And see if you got a second answer for a Tovolar.
Second Tovlar, eh? That does resolve.
Attack.
All right, I got another Burning Hands.
Okay, you're at 16.
I'm at 16.
Pass
Done?
turn.
All right. Okay, what do we want to do now? Now we actually have stuff we maybe want to do. But I think I just once again want to be patient here and just play a land and say go. I'm doing a lot over here.
Doing everything. Oops. Attack for 2. No more Tovolars.
14. Yeah, you probably don't play that many. 2 or 3, I imagine.
Yeah.
It's a good card, but...
I'll do Mammoth.
Mammoth. Okay, that resolves.
Okay. Then I'll play a Shatter Skull untapped going to 17.
Okay.
And a Kessig Naturalist. Do I want to play everything? Maybe that's bad. Because you're like next turn is your sweeper turn. Usually don't have that many. It's like 2 or 3.
This one has 3 and then 1 burned down the house.
Maybe I should have just activated this Ranger class before attacking.
You still can.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's back up and activate Ranger class and attack. Do you want to kill my thing?
So how are you doing this now?
I'm just going to first main activate Ranger class.
Okay.
That's a better way to play this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Attack. Get a counter on it.
Yeah.
So you'll just have 1 less life.
Okay, and then I'll Jwari Disruption that.
Sure.
Well, what do you want from me? All right. Okay, now we're gonna Expressive Iteration.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
It's the kind of thing you think about more when I'm actually playing the games.
For sure.
In the right sequence.
Oh, for sure. All right.
When I'm trying to
not get got.
I'm just trying to back up through my, me changing my mind.
Yeah, well, you can't really do that in real Magic anyways, so we'll give you that.
We're playtesting.
That's true. All right, I'll play a land and I'll pass to you.
Okay. Awkward draw.
Okay.
Attack, put a counter on the wolf.
All right.
Brings you to 9.
9, yep.
And then I will play another Kazandu Mammoth.
Okay.
And then I'll pass the turn.
All right. A bit of a pinch here. Hiya.
Yeah, it's just been 1-for-1s up the curve here with the 2-drop Ranger class.
Yeah, that has done some work. Iteration?
Yep. Shows you why I valued having a 2-drop so much.
Yeah. No, that's definitely was a good draw. All right, so I have this.
The card advantage from these iterations is just a matter of whether Corey can stabilize, and he should have a pretty substantial lead.
Yep. All right, I'll pass to you.
I guess I do have this Ranger class I can get up
Pump
there.
it up.
I would like to declare an attack.
Sure.
Attack with everybody, and counter on the Mammoth.
Counter resolves, and I'll go to 1.
Brings you to 1.
Not great.
Not
great.
I'm just gonna activate the Ranger class rather than commit anything else to the battlefield.
Okay.
And then I'll pass the turn.
All right, I got a Memory Deluge, and I need to find something because I do not have the goods so far.
You've seen a lot of cards.
I have seen a lot of cards. I guess that will keep me a lot. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm just looking at 2 cards.
Yeah, it's not Scry 2 draw 2.
I was like, I guess I will take those. They're not bad. All right, so
Corey's cast a few too many Behold the Multiverses.
I have. Or not enough, however way you look at it. All right, I think I actually just want to take all 4. They're really good, so can I just take all of them? Okay, I'm going to take these 2 cards. and hope for the best. All right. Untap.
Yep.
Not a bad draw. I'm going to play a land, and I will pass to you.
What is going on over there?
No one knows.
Declare tax.
I will Galvanic Iteration,
Resolves.
and I'll kick a Cinderclasm.
Okay.
4 damage to each creature.
Oh, got punished for putting the counter on the mammoth last turn.
You did. I could have done something differently, so it wouldn't have been. But yeah, 5 toughness is not great for me because then I just need to burn down the house. But I think that's actually in the board too. But yeah,
You just have both in your deck?
I do. Yeah, but I think it's a 3-1 split is what I have right now, and I think I'd want to get to 5 after and probably play at least one more burn and maybe even switch the battle. But yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking on my turn when I did it that you seemed you didn't have the sweeper, obviously, because you would have casted the previous turn. So
I did
just
not.
wanted to. I figured you would be interacting with one of my creatures, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to force through the most damage.
Yep. I was just dead to a land last turn, which was not great, but here we are.
I will play a werewolf pack leader
Okay.
and a Kessig naturalist.
And a naturalist. Okay.
It is now day. Pass the turn.
I
I guess it was day. Oh, it was day when we cast those Tovolars. It might be night.
Yeah, I mean, it would have just been night now, right? Because I didn't play anything
But it's
last
going to
turn.
go back to day on your turn.
Yeah,
so.
now it's day.
Okay, it's day.
Okay.
This tracking it when it's...
When it's like kind of irrelevant. Yeah, that's not great. 3.
Okay, it's day.
Okay.
My deck have any Spikefield hazards in it?
Does yours?
Yeah.
I hope not. That's not how I want to go out. That's not how I want to go out, buddy.
You got 5 in hand?
Yeah. Now, what do I want to do? I can... okay, that seems good. I will... I guess I don't want it to be night, so I should probably just do this now. I don't think you have too much haste. Oh, I guess storm, whatever. Yeah, I get punished by that. Reckless. That'd be a reckless play of yours, though.
Would it?
So reckless. All right, I'm still going to do this. I will Galvanic Iteration.
Yep.
And show you these hands. These burning hands.
3 burning hands.
Bang. I do play 3 of them against the green metagame, but yeah, that was a little lucky. Okay, I'll pass to you. I got to get this Ranger class out of here. There's that land right on time.
Pathway and Renin 7.
Ran and 7. Does it to play around Dwari Disruption correctly, but I do have Disdainful Stroke.
Hey, pass the turn.
All right. Okay. A draw. There's a magic card. Yeah, I suppose we'd probably just start with that. All right, I'll just all runs.
Get yourself some birdies.
Give me some birdies. Take an extra turn. Didn't have the mana to do the Galvanic Iteration, and I kind of just want to get more cards. Not the best use of it, of course, but now 4, 6. All right, I'm going to play this Dwari Disruption tap. The jig is up, and I will... It is day, so you... Well, it's going to switch tonight because I'm not going to play anything, so... Yeah, we'll go like this.
15.
And I will pass to you.
Zika's Chariot.
Chariot.
There was a creature on top the turn I activated Ranger class, and there has not been one since then.
Yeah. Chariot resolves, unfortunately.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I need some cat tokens. We'll use some wolves in the
cats.
meantime. They're pretty similar.
Yep, close enough.
And then I'll pass the turn.
Okay. End step. Going to divide by 0. Yep. I'm going to divide by 0, and I suppose I'll just bounce the... Doesn't feel good. I could bounce this, I guess. That's kind of decent.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, I'm going to bounce the Ranger class, actually.
I like these cats.
I'm going to do some learning. Get my favorite mascot exhibition.
Yep.
Untap, a draw.
4 in hand now?
Yes. Probably just want to cast this exhibition. 4, 6, 7. Leaves me with 2 mana. It's not so bad. All right, mascot exhibition. Oh, let's see if we got that. Oh, you did it. I'm proud of you. All right, 1, 2. I got one more.
Over here.
Oh, okay. All right, so I get these things. They're creatures. And now, do I care about getting some damage in? You're at 17?
15. You attack for 2 with birds, and...
Just going to get in there with 1 bird.
14.
Past you. Defense.
I will play Ranger class.
That resolves. You get a wolf.
Yeah.
Unless you don't want it, that's pretty cool.
Play Timber Crown Pathway. Thundering Rebuke your 4/4 elemental.
Well, that's not very nice of you.
Activate Ranger class.
Okay.
Crew Chariot with the wolf and one of the cats.
Okay.
Declare attacks.
Yes.
I will attack with both. I will put a counter on the chariot, and I will attempt to copy the non-attacking cat.
Okay. Non-attacking cat, I'll kill. And, well, I'm pretty punished by attacking with this bird. That's kind of a tilt, but I guess I gotta kill... Do I have to kill Chariot? Because you can't crew it. Maybe I just don't care? No, I think I care. Okay, I'll block like this.
Okay, so Chariot trades for the 2 tokens,
Yep.
and then the other one is good, and then I will pass the turn.
Okay. Tap. Draw. Not the worst draw. 3, 4. All right. Well, smashing these.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good draw.
That wasn't my draw. I drew something else that was nice. Had that for a while. I'll attack for 1.
13.
Past you. Still living life on the edge here, but...
Awkward draw.
Okay.
But I think it's better than activating Ranger class, so I'll play Zeke's Chariot.
Awkward?
This is awkward because I can't do both.
Oh, awkward. I had to draw my best card in my deck. Dang it.
I mean, it's night. I would have rather drawn Arlen.
Yeah, that's a
and
good
killed
point.
you.
No, that's a good point. Okay, your chariot resolves. Your chariot awakes.
Pass the turn.
Okay. All right. I will pass to you.
You have 2 in hand?
2 in hand.
Reckless Stormseeker.
Yep.
Now I have the Question of whether I want to get in with Chariot or do I want to try to kill Corey. If I attack with 3 creatures, then Hall and Bird are not enough. Oh, also it's night. Not that that really matters since you have a 7/7.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you still have 4 mana. And you're blocking. I guess what I could do is crew, pump Chariot with the Slasher, attack for 6, put a counter on it, and force either a chump or a trade with the Hall, and attempt to make a cat, and just set up to kill next turn. And that sort of plays around a removal spell. I think, though, that could run afoul of Corey just chump blocking and flashing back the Deluge and finding some good stuff, just finding a sweeper. So I think I'm just going to try to kill him. So I'll try to go to combat.
Okay.
Target the Slasher with itself.
Yep.
Attack with everything, put a counter on a cat.
All right. I'll animate 4, 5, 6, block, and pyre this one. Or whatever one, pyre that one if you do that.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll kill the bigger one. All right.
Unfortunate.
That's dead.
Had the removal spell.
And I completely forgot about Deluge. I don't even know if I had a chance to do it at any point.
I'll activate the Ranger class.
Yep.
And pass the turn.
All right. Untap. Draw.
Got another time walk to kill me. I guess that doesn't actually kill me.
Yeah, no, it doesn't actually kill
A little
you.
short.
Okay, I'll just pass to you.
Draw.
Been living life on the edge here.
I will cast another Chariot.
I have a Disdainful Stroke.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Keeps him alive.
Yep.
And I'll just pass the turn.
All right, I'll Deluge. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God, this is awful. Oh well, the last one is at least a playable Magic card, but wow, were those not good? Okay.
Just give me another. No, over here.
Oh yeah. That card would be busted. That card would be disgusting. Okay, now we got decisions. Let's start off with the true best draw spell. Remember, Deluge tries. It's still expressive iteration, in my opinion. Okay, so definitely going to put that one there. And this one here. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, well, all runs. Get some birdies. Untap. Yeah, there we go.
Today.
Finally. All right, so so you're at 13, huh?
Yes.
7 would be better. I appreciate that.
You have 4 in hand?
Yep.
Looks like I got punished for another judgment call.
A little bit.
I think I would have been better off just making the play I described, offering the trade with the 7/4 Chariot.
Yeah.
You would have pyred the cat token I target, but
Yeah, that would have been a better play.
and probably would have chumped and deluged.
Well, I couldn't jump because it gives it trample, so I would have had to block with Hall.
Oh yeah, forgot about the trample part.
I'll Deluge.
Yeah.
1,
man.
2, 3, 4. Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
forgot about the trample part on the backside of the
4,
Stormseeker.
5, 6, 7. Oh, wow. Okay. Is that even a good card for me? Definitely be taking this one. I'm a couple mana short of comboing here, but I'm wondering if it's even a good card now. I don't want Battle, Frost, and Fire. This is just the best Memory Deluge ever. So I definitely want all runs. I don't think I want a Wrath since it's going to kill more creatures. So I guess I just take these two. That seems to make sense to me. And we'll bottom these. This one was cast. I will be able to attack for 2.
11.
11, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will all runs. Get some more birdies. And I don't think I'm going to need Jwari Disruption anymore. So I will Put that there, and now I can attack and force a chump, which is kind of cool, but... And I can't I can't do anything to that token. 5, 6, 6. Haul. Guess we can start with an iteration. If I hit all runs, then it's probably just over. Put this land here, put this here. Play this. Animate. And pyre that.
Yeah.
And attack for 11.
Yeah, if I just make the 7-4 chariot, I think I win.
Yeah, because I have to block that for sure. I kill the cat, and then...
And then I still have cat, Stormseeker, and I'm drawing another chariot. That you disdainful stroked it, but I guess then I have cat, chariot, but yeah, you just have the bird. Or I have cat, Stormseeker. I have one cat token of Stormseeker, and you just have the bird. You don't have another haul. I think it was the next turn where you played the second haul.
I think I iteration that turn, and I probably could have picked it differently. I think I had a Wrath, but I didn't want to because I just had your creatures on lock. I also screwed up that game too, though. Totally forgot about Memory Deluge on the board, so I didn't notice it until that turn when I put it up, and I think I had another option to cast it earlier, so I think I screwed that up. What do you think for Gauntlet Show? Do you want to do two pre and then post, or do you just want to head to post?
Let's just go to sideboarding.
Sweet. I think it's better for me to get post to get my removal in. So, all right, everyone, that's going to do it for our first game here of the Gauntlet. We both made minor mistakes, but, well...
Games are tough.
Magic stuff, and honestly... These games get super long with Izzet, whether you're playing from the aggro side or from the Izzet side. The amount of times when you just look back and you're like, something else could have been done is going to be just about every game. Because decks where you get to hold up mana and make a judgment call, not a judgment call, but act accordingly to what you do. I either have Disdainful Stroke, Dwari Disruption, Cathodic Pyre. There's so many things where it's like, okay, if you played this, but you didn't know what was in my hand, you know, I could not have won the game kind of thing, but you don't know that because hindsight's 2020. And you also just had the spot where if you just drew a land with Mammoth that turn, I had nothing. Yeah. I had absolutely nothing. I had 2 counter spells and a Memory Deluge, and yeah.
Would have been nice to cast a creature off that Ranger class that was in play for 6 turns too.
Yeah, did you consider using that ability, or were you just looking at creatures and you're like, no?
Yeah, I just thought, I just had better options,
Ah, smart. All right, everyone. So we are going to head to the sideboard and find out what better options we have hiding in there, and we will be right back here on Versus Live.
Well, welcome back to a Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Teamer Werewolves and Izzet Turns. On my side of things, the 2 cards that are great in my sideboard are Disdainful Stroke and Toski. There's not a lot of answers in Corey's deck for Toski. Really keeps the gas flowing pretty easily.
I hate that squirrel.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Disdainful Stroke also great. Definitely want to get the rebukes out. I think Kazandu Mammoth is pretty weak in this deck. We saw it, not do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have played it early instead of the Tovalars and sort of made you kill it, and then maybe the Tovar lives. That could have also been a mistake on my part, but got a little greedy trying to get the
Might be a little
advantage.
Greedy taking out 4 lands, too. Like, is that rough? Or
is
that factored in?
We'll see how it goes.
Okay, I like that.
I'm also going to try out Frog Hemoth. I just wanted haste to finish games at the end of
that's good.
At the end of game 1, and so it's mainly just as a haste creature, but its ability can take an iteration, a Galvanic iteration, or a Memory Deluge out of your graveyard, which is kind of cool.
I don't think anyone's ever cast this card against me so far.
So I'm trimming 1 Ren and 7 to make room for these Frog Hemoths. That's kind of speculative. Just want to see how they play out.
Okay.
But I definitely think having haste threats in this aggro against control matchup is pretty important.
Yeah.
Ren and 7 helps you grind, but I'm bringing in Toskies to help grind, so I'm just trying to balance those 2 elements of my game plan.
Yeah, I'm very afraid of this, mildly afraid of this, and Frog Hemoth seems pretty scary as well. So I'm going to just bring in Frostbite, Burning Hands, and burn down the house. Just 4 pieces of removal. Memory Deluge can get a little clunky at times. It kind of saved me that last game, of course, with the flashback, so I still don't want to get rid of all of them. And I think Expressive Iteration is just the better draw spell. Then I'm going to cut 1 Cathodic Pyre, which is kind of weird because it is just a decent card against you. Then I'm actually going to trim 1 Time Walk. I got to expect you bringing these. I don't want to get flooded on this card, and hope for the best.
Should I sue Watsy? I feel like they used a picture of me cooking the other week for this card.
Yeah. Your new roommates must love you, huh?
Yeah. I don't know how they got the picture or why
Yeah.
they're using it, but it feels like an invasion of privacy.
It
and
really does, yeah.
I also, I don't know what to think about that.
Yeah, but hey, you
unsettling.
still do cook some good food. So burn down whatever house you want, as long as the end product is good. So
The issue is not while I'm cooking. The issue is I often just forget to turn off the stove and or oven.
wow, wow.
It's already happened multiple times since I moved in.
Okay. Well, Henry is babysitting my dog a little bit later. I'm glad he's doing it at his house. All right. Do you have a question at all for us while we shuffle up for a second game?
I do. Let's see. Cool Duck Boy wanted to know, do you guys think we're heading into product overload with a new set coming out next month?
I mean,
Next month? What do we got?
We're not heading into it. We are in the middle of it.
Yeah. We're in the eye of the
been there.
storm, and we've been in the eye of the storm. It just keeps rotating around us. Yeah.
Does it
What's
never
next?
stop?
Yeah. What's next? What's the next product?
Innistrad Crimson Vow.
Is that next month?
November. I mean, it's the last day of September right now. It's like a month and a half.
Okay.
November 19th.
Yeah, about a month and a half.
Preview season. I'm just starting to learn these cards. Come on, give me some
Preview
slack.
season for that set probably in a month.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, shortly after
4
Worlds.
to 5 weeks.
Before the Invitational, I imagine we'll start previewing cards.
I would think right after.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be exciting still.
Yeah.
Wow, unreal. Okay, I guess you want to go first.
Yeah, I guess.
Good luck to you, good sir.
It worked out so well the first time.
I mean, you basically did win. You just needed a land. I was about to just concede, and I was like, yeah, that is technically 8. I'll let you do things and see if I die
I'll
later.
draw a hand.
Yeah, thank you. You drew lands a lot after that, so I appreciate that too.
My hand is excellent. I'll keep.
Okay, my hand's just okay. I'll keep and be scared.
Rockfall Veil, go.
All right, Hall, pass to you.
Lair of the Hydric, Kazakh Naturalist.
I thought you were gonna say lair, go. Like, yeah, you got it. All right, stay time.
Yep.
Okay, well, I can't really let it flip, and I can't really let you chariot next turn, so I have to do this now. Pass to you.
Play River Glide Pathway
Okay.
and Tovar.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. Yeah, the day-night mechanic really makes me play differently than I would like to, but don't know if I have a choice here. Don't think I do. I'm going to divide by 0. I'm going to take environmental sciences. Pass to you.
Okay, let's play a Crag Crown Pathway and a Zika's Chariot.
That's what I figured.
Get some cats.
I'm excited. Done?
Yep.
Okay.
Sciences.
Yep.
Gain 2.
22. I will get a land. And I'll pass to you.
Crew Chariot.
Sure.
Declare tax.
I'd rather if you didn't. Would you mind?
I do mind, actually.
All right, attacking is fine.
In attack, I will target this cat.
Okay. I'm going to continue to think and stall, if you don't mind. All right, I'll frostbite that cat.
Okay, take 4.
Yep, 18.
Then I will
Get that cat out of here. That Cadillac out of here.
play a Shatter Skull tapped
Okay.
and a Tovolar.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right, I'll untap. I'll draw a magic card. And I'm going to play this Dwari Ruin. Oh, boy. Well, once again, I'm incentivized to play stuff on my turn, which is not great.
I like playing stuff on my turn.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do.
I don't know what's the big deal. You get 2 main faces to cast things in. Might as well make use of them. Can't take them with you.
Hey, shut up. Okay. I'm gonna stall a little bit more while I think, okay?
I'm just going to continue rambling then.
Dang it. That incentivizes me to think faster. So you can play a land, you can attack with layer. That would be 4. That's 8.
The trick is to tell them stories that don't go anywhere.
9,
Like the time I
10.
took the ferry over to Shelbyville, I had tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time. You couldn't get any white onions because of the war. All you could get were those big yellow ones.
Wow.
Where was I? Oh, yeah. I had
Do you
to
want
take
to
the
finish
ferry over to Shelbyville.
Do you want to finish my game for me? You definitely can. All right.
Ferry cost a nickel. Back then, nickels had pictures of big bumblebees on them.
I'm going to divide that by 0.
Give me 5 bees for a quarter, they'd say.
Go. I got mascot.
So, holding up a single red mana.
Yep. Divide by 0 gets awkward when that should be your removal spot. You know, I'd really like to just Burning Hands Chariot or something like that.
You have 5 in hand?
5 in hand.
Got a forest.
Okay.
I've got some options.
Options?
Indeed, options.
Okay.
I would like to cast Tovar.
Okay. Really mixing it up. That resolves.
I would like to cast Reckless Stormseeker.
That also resolves.
I'd like to go to the beginning of combat step.
Okay.
I will target Tovar with Reckless Stormseeker.
Okay.
Now, do I want to crew Chariot and get in with these 2 and try to make another cat, or do I want to get in and try to draw a card? Because I'm more afraid of a sweeper than anything else, I think I'd rather just draw an extra card than make a cat that will die to that sweeper. So I will just attack with Tovar and the cat.
All right, I'll take it.
Brings you to 12, and I'll draw a card.
Yep.
And then I'll pass the turn.
Might have been the worst attack I've ever seen in my entire life, but whatever.
Oh, you want me to crew like this and attack for... Yeah, I guess that's a bit better.
I'll battle. Pass to you.
I got distracted by my Shelbyville story.
Yeah, here's also the way to get Ross distracted. Just let him talk.
I will play another Chariot.
Okay.
Get 2 cats. Keep the old one.
I mean, the new one's shinier.
Crew with the cats. Attack for 4. Make another cat.
All right, I'm at 8.
And then I'll play a Timber Crown Pathway and another Tovar.
Okay. I figure you had a Tovlar.
Pass the turn.
All right. I will draw. I draw then scry, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Draw. Scry.
So I effectively just missed 2 damage. That's what happened?
Yeah,
By being a
basically.
dingus?
And you got extra.
I mean, the cat would have been irrelevant.
Yeah.
I sort of figured there was a sweeper coming.
Well, these 3 cards are pretty good.
Yeah. Effectively missed 2 damage there. That's not great.
Not the best I've ever seen.
Especially when, if you were at 6, you'd be dead to lair with a land.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm still in a lot of trouble, of course. Just debating how I want to arrange these, what I want to do. Missing the land drop last turn was pretty big as well. I guess that's not great. Okay, I think I will keep these on top and put this on bottom.
Yeah. 2 on top. Okay.
And I have an expressive iteration. I only could keep 2. The other card was actually good, but... All right. So, iteration. It's the same card. Classic. I'll put that there. I have to put this into my hand. This on bottom. and play this as a red source. And I think the only play that keeps me alive is doing this now. Yeah, I think I have to do this now. Cinderclasm. Don't even know if this keeps me alive. It's my best play. I'll pass to you. Then I don't even know what I can really do next turn, so I don't feel great.
You're not going to get a next turn.
Okay, good.
I've got another chariot.
Okay.
So crew with the cats, and then activate layers at 2/2, and
7, 8, 9. Yep, you got it.
I'll go.
Okay. I was close to stabilizing there, but those couple turns where I had to just bounce your threat instead of actually killing them, they ended up really coming back, you know? Divide by 0 is great on, like, this turn. Like, I Cinderclasm and then can divide by 0 as well or something. That would have been ideal, but...
Yeah, they bought you time, but you were never able to find a point where you could stabilize.
Exactly, yeah.
And then turn the corner, so...
Agreed.
Yeah, ended up not being very
And you didn't
effective.
even have a disdainful stroke. Anytime you had a disdainful stroke there, and I was just done.
Yeah.
You know, just toast, so...
I just had a very good curve, and the gas kept flowing.
The gas kept flowing. All right, so final game with this matchup. We are tied. And yeah, honestly, the day-night synergy ate me alive from the beginning. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I just commissioned for some emotes where I'm going to have a day-bound and night-bound Henry, my dog, or I'm going to have him be like, look all cute during the day and then look scary, Yanni at night, something like that. Maybe turning into a dog werewolf.
But actual Henry is much scarier during the day.
I know.
And not scary at night.
But not everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Henry at night is the best dog ever because he's unconscious sleeping. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's when he's awake that he's terror.
Yeah, exactly. He's God, I would say he's a reckless storm seeker, to be honest. Yeah. All right. Do you got a question at all for us while we shuffle up for our final game?
I sure do.
What do you got?
Let's see here. P33JL. Sorry if I just butchered that. But, does Ross think that Teamer Werewolf should actually commit to Teamer and play Prismari Command and the blue unblockable werewolf?
No.
Yeah.
You don't have the capability to stretch your mana base that far. It's really just playing 8 pathways.
Yeah.
So
Prismari Command is just also not a good card. Like if you're seeing this deck not play Prismari Command, even when there's Ezekiel's Chariot everywhere, that's a sign that it's just not good right now. You know, and I mean, maybe it's a mistake that I'm not playing that card. Quite possible, you know, but I just don't think it is good enough. It is still card disadvantage when you draw, so that loot ability is already just okay. I'm not ramping to anything really, you know, like, and the destroy artifact and deal 2 damage mode. If those are good, the card is good. That's my line for that card, to be honest.
yeah, and it's really the only artifact you have to kill is Chariot.
Yeah.
And that's just not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. It deals with some of Chariot, which is not great, but yeah. No, and the blue werewolf I think is fine. But I think there's going to be a lot of spike field hazards. It's pretty tough to switch from day to night. And with Teamer Werewolves, you're not passing to night at all. You know, like your day-bound, night-bound stuff is all a product of what you play against. Like you hope that they turn into day and night. Maybe sometimes post-board it and you're in a green match. You can say go, have 2 burning hands, and then you untap and it's night. Like that happens post-board games. But for the most part, you don't want it to turn to night by your own doing, because that means you missed playing a spell, you know, and your deck wants to play spells every turn.
And if you're playing that 2-drop werewolf, then you have to add minimum 4 more blue sources to your deck, probably even more than that to cast it consistently, and you're just messing with your mana base too much at that point.
Yeah.
You don't even have access to a blue slow land because Simic and Izzet are enemy colors.
Yeah,
so
that's
they
right.
don't exist.
Yeah.
So I don't, like you'd have to play like a Snarl, which is that you can't do. You have no basics in your deck. That's just a tap land.
Yeah, you might as well just play Simic Guildgate, you know? Like
the campuses. They're
you
guild
can
gates
scry.
that can occasionally scry one.
That's true.
They're just
That's
better
true.
than Snarls in this deck.
Yeah.
Because the Snarls are never entering untapped. So
the sentence "better than Snarls" like should be a sin to say, you know? Like that's just awful.
It's just too hard to make the mana work in 3 colors.
Agreed, but hey, way to think about innovating. You know, that's where deck ideas come from. You just think, well, what if I just jam this into it? You know, this sounds a little risky. I've never been punished for a sketchy keep in my life, so I think I'm in.
You know, Normally, you like to see your 2 best sideboard cards in your opening hand.
Yeah.
But when the other 5 cards are lands, it's much less exciting.
Okay. Yeah, still not bad, but yeah, not great.
Corey probably would have kept that.
No, I don't think I would have.
He would have.
Oh, I mean, then again, looking at my hand right now.
he would have had to think about it. That's a Corey think and reluctant keep.
Yeah. Hey, you know me too well.
Yeah, because that's a snap mulligan on my part.
I mean, on the play, I'd keep that. It's the most important card. If I don't have Divide by Zero, I just cannot deal with it. And even a Divide by Zero is just I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just a delaying the inevitable.
You could have a disdainful stroke.
It is uncounterable.
Oh, it is. Forgot that card.
I cannot beat it. That's just the card. I need to block with mascot exhibition tokens.
Yeah, you can't do any of like the tap effects, so that still keeps it in play.
Yeah. I need to
it's not red, so
block.
it doesn't remove all the abilities.
I need to block and I need to go over the top of you. Eventually that card will win, so it puts the pressure on me. I have to go.
Yeah, that's a hard card to answer.
It's very
I just
tough.
forget it's uncounterable.
Yeah. You don't play enough Arena. It turns purple when you cast it, which is the uncounterable.
That's weird. Why is purple uncounterable?
That's just what it is. If you have
Who decides these things?
if you have the back end of Malevolent Geist out and you cast a spell, outlines purple. Can't be countered.
Okay.
We'll teach you someday, Boomer.
I've played Arena before.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I've played Arena before.
There was
Once
this
in my
rope
life.
pressuring me to make plays. I didn't get to just take 5 minutes. How am I supposed to resolve a brainstorm in less than 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Well, you don't have to worry about that now. That card's banned from Arena.
Well, this is awkward. I think I have to keep this.
Okay.
And given how important having a 2-drop has been, I think I just have to hope to hit. So in that case, I will put the expensive card on the bottom.
Pass to you.
Oh, I'll play Rockfall Vale.
Okay. I have a land, and I'll pass to you.
I'm going to get Jwari Disruption because I hit the green source I needed for this pack leader.
Nope, you're going to get Jwari ruined. Yep, you're getting disrupted.
Okay, pass the turn.
All right. I'll draw. Oh, not the best. I will play Jwari Ruin, and I'll foretell.
Rockfall Vale, Tovar.
Okay.
It is now day.
All right.
Pass the turn.
Little punished for my last turn, unfortunately. But to not turn it tonight, I think I should just do this now, even though it's not great. Memory Deluge.
Pretty happy with that.
Oh, are you? And I'll select this magic card, and
And that's it. You only get the one.
okay, you said
It's just 4-mana impulse.
I think I'll take this and pass to you.
I will attack for 3.
Yep.
I go to 17. I'll draw a card.
Do it.
And then I will play River Glide Pathway. And
What nonsense are you gonna play now?
I'm going to play an Arlen and make some wolves.
Okay.
And I don't like how Corey is acting so calm about this.
I'm crying inside.
I'll pass the turn.
All right, I'll draw. And I suppose I need to start with.
Just pass the turn.
Yeah, I mean,
Fortunately, got nothing.
nothing else I could do.
You should tap your lands first.
Yeah,
Don't want those to go unused.
that's true.
Then they might feel bad.
Hey, you're gonna distract yourself, and you're gonna make more heinous attacks. All right, get him out of there. I don't. Oh, it does deal to
Yes.
planeswalkers. Oh God, I was like, yeah, this Ireland's still a problem. Okay, sorry for taking on that. That was just the play.
Yeah. Go like, I'm sitting here worried about it. Corey just has it.
Whoopsies.
Oh.
Well, maybe if you'd shut up once in a while and stop mumbling on, I'd have a chance to just say, I'll play my card, you know, but that's just me, right, Justin? Or is that you too? Or okay.
I'll play a Ranger class.
I like that.
Pass the turn.
That's not Ren and 7 or anything. Okay. I'll draw. I'll scry 3. Definitely want... actually... So if I'm going to expressive iteration, setting up what I want is going to be interesting. I'm just going to set that in Excel right now. I think I don't want to see that card. So I am going to cast expressive iteration.
Resolves.
Put this into my hand. Play this. And I'll pass to you.
Activate Ranger class.
Sure. Doesn't this still just drive you crazy that it goes to level 2?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that drives me insane.
Play Lava Glide Pathway.
So when it comes into play, should it start on 1? Like, I just doesn't make sense.
Cast Toski.
Oh. Not a big fan of that. Well, I don't really want you to draw cards. So I guess I'll Frostbite. I wasn't gonna do that. I wanted to cast my other spell, but yeah, Tusky resolves, and I don't have any division available to myself. I'll draw chapter 3.
Oran's Epiphany. Draw 2. Discard 1.
For sure. But I'm gonna flex on you with this one. So draw 2, discard 1 card. I'm gonna discard.
Yeah. I could have kept bluffing Disdainful Stroke here, but I'm pretty sure Corey's casting one of them. You know, with the draw 2, it's worth it.
Yeah.
You're just not under much pressure at 17 life.
I'll attack.
18.
Combo. 2 turns for me. 4 birds. I can't kill you though because Toski is. I can't get through it with Hall, so it's not over yet. So I got 1 turn in the bank. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. Never mind. Just exactly what we were talking about earlier. Galvanic, burn down the house. Burn it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get him.
Block a devil.
1 to you. Take 5.
11.
Yeah.
Plus 1 from the. Yeah, I'm at 6.
Okay, untap. Do it again.
Yeah, just set 2 lands.
I just only had complete gas on the tank as well, but.
I mean, I went 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, and if I had kept 7, I would have had Froghemoth on 5. But
Yeah.
I kept 3 lands, the 3 cards in my graveyard, as my 6-card hand.
And it would have not been enough to have Froghemoth as well.
Yeah, would not even been close to enough.
Yeah.
I could have had Pack Leader, Tovolar, Arlen, Froghemoth, turn 6, Ranger class Toski.
Yeah.
And it would have not been close to enough.
And that's the thing that scares me about this deck. Like, I'm not a ban talk guy, but if there's one card, it's going to be this. Can't interact it with discard. Taking extra turns is unfun.
The main thing is because I was on the draw. Like, the fact that you were able to have Jawari Disruption on turn 2 is your piece of interaction, and then stay ahead of me for the rest of the game, completely flip the script. If I get to resolve the Pack Leader, then you take 3 at least, and I'm like getting damage into the Pack Leader every turn while you're interacting with the rest of my stuff.
Yeah.
And or you have to tap out on your turn to do it, or at some point, maybe you like. I don't know. So like something else resolves, or you're continuing to take 3.
Yeah, and I kept my sketchy keep on the play though was just like double Jawari Disruption, 2 other islands, Memory Deluge. So I didn't have any red. Drew it on turn 4, which I feel is about average. But, that is how good Jawari Disruption is on the play against these decks that, honestly, it doesn't even matter if you have Jaspera Sentinel, because that doesn't truly ramp you. Jawari Disruption hits everything, and it's like, okay, you're either going to play your game very weird, or you have to walk into it. And so Jawari Disruption in this deck is just Blue Doomblade. Don't at me, like...
It feels like if I'm on the draw, I really needed Disdainful Stroke at some point.
Yeah.
To get ahead of you.
And that is one thing I'll say about this deck. Hopefully, I don't know if I even want to say hopefully, but hopefully, at least for the sake of the show, that's kind of how it works. Is when I have my nut draw like I just did there, and nut draws and didn't have red until turn 4, but I had things to do. Yeah. Didn't matter. And my top end was exactly what it should be. Battle into interact in some way into all runs combo kill you. When I have that, I think this deck beats basically every deck. So the nut draw here beats nut draws of any other deck, and is the reason why I would be playing this if I played the SCG this weekend. And I love the deck.
I would say it beats any mid-range or aggressive deck.
Yeah, your nut draw maybe doesn't stand up to
Counterspells.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even there, if you had counterspells, what are you countering? You know, like, if you counter that first all runs, I still draw cards, and it's like, okay, you know, sure, attack me for one turn, and the next turn. How does it work with Galvanic Iteration and playing the spell? I'd still get the copy, right, if you counter it? Yeah, so, you know, the next turn after that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, heavy counterspell decks are going to be pretty good against you because you're tapping out a lot. You have a lot of removal in your deck that's going to be bad against those kind of strategies.
I just don't think those are decks right now.
They aren't.
Yeah.
And it's because they tend to be pretty weak in a lot of other matchups.
Yeah, you play Gruul against a heavy counterspell deck.
Yeah.
Lights out. You just can't do that.
So, yeah, what part of the reason that the Izzet Turns deck is so good right now is the rest of the metagame is suppressing its natural predators.
Yeah.
But if it becomes good enough and starts suppressing the decks that were good last week, then its own predators can then start coming up again.
That's true, but if you had to guess for this weekend, before we go on to this, if you had to guess, what do you think is going to be a more popular card, Azika's Chariot or Alrund's Epiphany for the event? I think it's close and reasonable, you know?
Yeah,
because those are the best. Those are the best cards.
Yeah, they're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So it would just be a coin flip.
Yeah,
in my mind.
I think it'd still be Chariots though.
Yeah, I would lean that way, but it's close. Yeah. And then you got to think popular in round 1 versus popular among people who are still playing in round 7. Right.
Good point too. Just which deck's winning more.
Yeah. So the metagame does evolve based on what bracket you're in over the course of a tournament.
Yeah. And there's different Izzet decks, like we were talking about, that play Goldspend, that play Egg, that play no creatures, but those are the only Alrund's Epiphany decks. There's 1,000 Azika's Chariot decks. This is why I think, you can play Golgari, you can play Temur, you can just play mono green. Yeah. So I think it'd be Chariot, but can they be decks like this? Who knows? Maybe they have to be mono green, which we're going to be seeing a little bit later on. I guess not quite next round, right?
Mono green's at the end. That's going to be the toughest test of the day.
It is. I think it is the best deck, and those would be my 2 decks of what I would play for the SCG personally.
This is a pretty this was a close matchup. It was 2-1 in your favor. The pre-board game got decided by a single point of life, and potential land drop on my side. Game 2, I won pretty comfortably on the play, and then you won comfortably on the play as well. So we saw the play matter a lot in the match that we played, but ends up being a close match. I think Disdainful Stroke was important, so I like that the blue splash in these Gruul decks. I think that's necessary at this point.
Do you think I want to be Tested Talents at all, or do you just because that doesn't answer Battle of Frost and Fire, you just want Disdainful Stroke instead?
Maybe you play mix.
Yeah.
I could see having 4 counterspells on my board, have 2/2. Yeah, and that would be perfectly fine. I think Stroke ends up being... No, I'm trying to think of when other matchups you'd bring it in. Like Stroke might be better in the mono black matchup if you play against that, but it's mainly Blood on the Snow you're trying to counter. Test of Talenting that is pretty good.
I mean, sometimes you just bring it in against green-white Chariot, right? Like you want to counter Chariots and Wrens from them, or Storm the Festival, So
if I was targeting the All-Runs deck, then I'd go for a Test of Talents, and maybe you really have your mind dead set on beating that, which is a reasonable place to be. Yeah. Then I'd probably play a split, but otherwise I'd err towards Disdainful Stroke. It's just more widely applicable.
All right. Well, we're going to continue this Izzet Turns Gauntlet and see if this deck can keep going, or see if you got the answers for it. So we're going to take a short 5-minute break, and we'll be right back with round number 2 here on Versus Live. All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
I'm Ross Merriam.
And we got Justin in the booth. Say what's up, Justin.
What's up, Justin?
Justin will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games. If you want some questions sent over to us to answer about Standard, Modern, Pioneer, Ross's cooking, any of these things, make sure to tag out Star City Games. Yeah. If you want them to come to your house and burn down the house as well, I think
questions about bumblebees on nickels.
I just bought a bumblebee costume for Henry for Halloween. He's going to be a little bee running around. It's going to be cute. Anyways.
As long as he doesn't sting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Today we are playing a little bit of Standard here to get us ready. I know we did a ton during preview season, but we're back now that the SCG Tour Online is back, and some good opportunities for y'all to play. Hopefully qualify yourself for that SCG Invitational this weekend. Maybe win yourself some lunch money, win yourself thousands of dollars, and just try to get you ready. Yeah, that's That's not a bad lunch.
Probably has some like edible gold leaf on the top, like a pretentious jerk.
No, that's actually how much lunch costs when you cook it with all the fire damage. So, yeah. So today we wanted to really bring up a test of the new deck that has been coming around, and that is Izzet Turns. Whether you're playing it with creatures or not, I prefer this version, and this, outside of like maybe 2 or 3 card changes, is what I would play this weekend. I've been having a lot of success with it, and most importantly, I've been having so much fun. I know this is a deck that's up your alley as well. You get to draw a lot of cards. You know, maybe you want a little bit more tempo gameplay, but
that's what the combo
cards.
That's what the combo finish is. The lumbering control decks that just kind of poke you for a couple damage here and there over and over again once they take complete control of the game are just awkward to play. Like, I want to be working towards ending the game, and that's what this deck is doing. Even when it's reacting to its opponent, you're trying to set up those really powerful turns with Galvanic Iteration and Alrund's Epiphany and Hall of Storm Giants and burn down the house. So I'm in. There's a proactive element to the deck, and that's all I need. I need something proactive.
Exactly. So all you have to do is first fix your burn down kitchen, then fix your burn down computer, and then you're ready for these arena events here.
Yeah, I'll be ready come soon.
Soon has been declared. So we are doing a gauntlet today of the Izzet deck. I took down Gruul Werewolves to start. Now you are playing Brad's Bant Festival deck, which is honestly just Bant Company. You know, I mean, it is like that. It's a little different. You still get to play Tireless Tracker, you know? Like, it's got a lot of similarities.
Yeah, so he wrote about this deck earlier this week. That article is live right now on the website. I think the deck looks really, really good. I will say, I think Game 1 is going to be rough for me in this matchup, but I think the Bant Festival deck is very well set up to beat all the other green decks.
Yeah.
And so I think your matchup...
The decks that are targeting this deck, probably, right?
That too. I think you're basically well set up against everything except Izzet Turns. And while that's a problem, because Izzet Turns is sort of the best deck and getting a lot of hype right now, the question is whether or not we can get the post-sideboard games to a point where we feel comfortable with it, that we can win the matchup a reasonable portion of the time.
Yeah, you're never going
to wins everywhere else.
With losing Game 1, you're never going to get to a point where you're probably going to be favorable. I mean, you have to be just a dominating performance in the post
over 70%.
Exactly. So, I mean, if you can get to 45% in this matchup, that's something or you'd be happy with. If you're 60, 65% against other green decks, like, that's a place that I'd be comfortable with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
if this deck is supposed to be 30, 40%, then that's bad. But
but I don't think we're going to get to that point. I expect that to be like 10% or something.
Yeah, and by the end of the SCG Tour, if it wins as much as I think it will, then that last satellite, it might be up to 40%.
Yeah, we'll see how
those
quickly.
SCGs do go fast, right? You look at the past data from the next, now there's changes for the second satellite and the third, and it really ebb and flows really quickly.
Yeah, people playing them are definitely keeping their eye on what's going on in the first few and reacting to that immediately. So you get to see very quick metagame evolution because it's 8 tournaments and then the finals on Sunday, so 9 tournaments over the course of 3 days.
And with Melee, it's something that we've never been able to do before with how much data you get. You get win percentages. You get to see this deck did the best. 100 copies of this in the first satellite, 68% win rate. I'm going to play that. And now the next one is like, okay, I'm going to try to beat the deck that crushed it. Some people will have that. Some people just play it. So it's a lot of layers. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. So this Game 1, I'm just going to try to be a beatdown deck.
Yeah.
I've got ways to grind through the removal, but I don't really have any way to interact with the combo element of Izzet Turns, except for Elite Spellbinder. So that'll be my key card. Hopefully I draw a lot of them, like Corey did with Burning Hands in match 1. And
you're not salty or anything, right?
And then we can get to sideboarding where I've got a lot of stuff coming in.
All right, let's do it.
I do get to be on the play. That's cool.
Yeah.
Less cool that I drew 6 lands Brutal Cathar.
Yeah, Brutal Cathar is not it here. But I will say, that card's incredible. That card, I've been really impressed. I've been trying to play some Naya Showdown lists. Like, that's just like, I'm not necessarily thinking it's the best deck, but it's like my pet deck. I love that. And just being able to play Cathars, strip a bunch of tokens, and then at some point with those style of decks, you have some instant speed removal, Fateful Absence, Burning Hand, something like that, where you say go, and then if they double spell, it comes back and you're flipping again, but you flip it to the first strike side, kill a couple things, untap, double spell because you're a Showdown deck, so you always have that kind of gas, and then steal something again, and I love it. Yeah. I think Jerry wrote a really nice article about a Naya Showdown list not too long ago on Star City. if you want to check out.
It's definitely a nice pairing. Showdown means your curve is low, so it's a lot easier to manipulate the day and night, parity of the battlefield.
Yeah, I almost want to try like a Jeskai Showdown list but the problem is to like be able to interact on your opponent's turn. But the problem is showdowns and counter spells are not combos.
Yeah.
They're not good. So it's really tough to do that.
You're probably playing like
2 or 3. Some strokes or something, but...
So what is your blue for? Like, consider?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't put a lot of thought into it. I was hoping you weren't going to ask me any follow-up questions, to be honest, but...
Maybe you could do something like Clarion Spirit and cheap spells and consider and bounce spells and stuff.
Yeah. Sounds pretty bad, but...
Sounds sweet, though.
It does sound sweet.
Maybe get some Poppet Stitchers in there.
Oh, yeah. Poppet Stitcher and All Runes Epiphany is messed up, y'all. That's one thing we haven't really explored.
Yeah. You know how much I like to pop and lock it.
Sure.
I've learned so much today.
Good.
Well, my second hand here is, in a word, heinous.
So you're going to pop, lock, and drop that hand, huh?
I just think I have to aggressively mulligan. Like, this hand is not winning a game. It's 3 lands, 4 spells, but it's not 4 spells that are winning a game.
Looking at my hand, I'm like, keep that. My hand is not great, though, for what it's worth. But with all these double face cards, it looks slightly better, but it is pretty land heavy. And yeah.
Justin, do you have a question that can distract Corey so I'll draw 7 and he won't realize it?
Let's see.
Let me just look over this way while we do it, okay?
Just some random person named Tandy is asking questions.
Tandy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Corey,
Weird name.
Have you seen your brother's version of the deck, and what are your thoughts on that? Specifically, Burn Down the House over the Saga?
Yeah. So, Todd, I think you must have joined a little bit late, but that's what we talked about in the intro. I built this list yesterday before I had a talk with Brad, and he was just saying, and also, I was talking about how I love the combo of Galvanic Iteration into all runs with Storm of the Hall Giant, 22 damage. He was like, yeah, but there's also another one, which makes it really messed up. He might have used a little bit different colorful language when he expressed this to me, but then followed up with Galvanic Iteration into Burn Down the House after that is exactly 20. So I like my list, Tandy, except I want to switch up the numbers a little bit. I think I want to do 3 Burn Down the House, 2 Battle of Frost and Fire in the 75, but I might even just want 3 and 3. But, I'll be excited to hear what you said, because Todd has a really good article on the deck that should be live as well. And he's going to be battling Ross on Tuesday. And, Todd technically has the marbles, so got to defend, Todd. Got to defend. How's your 5 cards, buddy?
I was going to make a joke when you were done talking, be like, okay, you want to start? And I'm just holding 7 cards here, but
it's
7-card hand still can't win a game. This is literally the worst hand I've seen so far.
Wow. Well, go to 4. I'll hurry up and smash you, and we'll head to sideboard.
I'm going to keep and just hope to draw out of my mind.
Okay. Bring it on, buddy.
I will lead on Overgrown Farmland.
Okay. I have a Hall. Pass to you.
I have a Deserted Beach.
Nice. Okay, I will play Hall of Storm Giants, and I'll pass to you.
Oh, right on time. Overgrown Farmland, Root Coil Creeper.
Okay.
You're up.
Yep, ramps you, right?
Yeah.
Adds 2 mana to
For
cast
spells from my graveyard, and then it can rebuy a flashback card in exile.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Just keep storming that festival.
I will play a Pathway, and I'll Passway.
I will cast a 5-mana 3/3 with no text.
All right, I will Jwari Ruins that.
Okay. Pass the turn.
All right, that's been disrupted.
Your tapped island does trade with my vanilla 3/3. That's how Magic works.
Yeah, that's how it should work, I think. Now, what do I got to be afraid of? A few things.
Storm the festival.
Yeah, that's one of them. All right, I'm going to
Global warming.
That's true.
Super volcanoes.
Hey, can you cut him his mic in real life? Like, I don't know. Can we get him like a shock collar? That would be so good. The amount of money I would pay to be able to have a shock collar on you and be able to control it during the show, I think I do the show for free. That's a given. But I think I'd give some money in.
Do you not do the show for free now? You get paid for this?
Yeah, we're doing it free now, Justin, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, pass to you.
All volunteer.
Yeah.
Hold on, I have a call to make. Okay. So afraid of another Jawari disruption here, so I'll play my land first and then play this Renin 7.
The old land first play, huh? Well, I'm punished. Yeah, I will let that resolve.
I'll make a tree folk and I'll attack for 2.
All right. Well,
Is my 4-land Renin 6 hand gonna get there?
it's not looking bad. I'll say you have 1 card, huh?
1 card. 2 damage.
I'll take it.
You're at 18. Your turn.
Oh my god. Okay, I will.
This would be another reason why you want burned on the house. Often tree folks are 5/5s.
Yep. No, that's totally true. Okay, expressive iteration.
Yep.
I will put this over here, put this into my hand, and this on bottom. Play the land. And I think I want to just do this. Oh, no, I can't do that. Dang it. Okay, well, yikes. I'm going to just go with a foretell, and I'll pass to you. I guess I'll leave this open.
Oh. I will plus Ren.
Okay.
Got a land.
Yep.
Play Branch Loft Pathway.
Okay.
And attack you for 6.
I will
Or
take it.
8. Sorry.
I can't. You said 6. Can you go with that? I like that better.
Puts
I'll
you
go to
at
10.
And then I'll cast Izzet's Chariot.
Okay.
Make
This
some
is
caps.
fine.
And then I'll pass the turn.
All right, well, I'll be able to deal with your board here in a couple of turns, but yeah, Todd, you're pretty smart because if this was burned on the house for turn 5, I was going to be sitting a lot better than what this will do. So, all right, I'm going to draw. I think I'm unfortunately priced into burning one of these Allrun's Epiphanies.
Yeah, needs the Explorer.
Yep, I need a
You can
6-mana
battle plus
Explorer.
2 mana removal spell.
Exactly. You're onto it. All right, so I'll go like this.
Yep.
I'll draw.
You get to attack me for 2, though.
I do get some damage in. Yeah, so I'll attack you.
I'm at 18.
Okay.
Battle of Frost and Fire.
Yep. And Cathartic Pyre on this. And this goes to Chapter 1. And I'll pass to you.
So is Renin 7 a good card to have left in my hand?
God.
Just a question apropos of nothing.
I'm not afraid of you.
Okay, I got another land. And let's go to 2, make a tree folk.
Okay.
Crew the Chariot, attack you for 4, make another tree folk.
I'm at 6.
You're at 6. I've got 2 7/7s. You're up.
And they're only getting larger. Okay, I will draw, and then I'll
Do some
scry
scrying.
3. So I definitely don't want the land. That's a given. But do I want... It's just ways to look at cards. I think Memory Deluge is a little bit too slow. So I should probably bottom
Branch
that
Left Pathway
one.
should be... Or one of these Bar Channel Pathways. Whatever. I should have made one of these a second blue sourcing so I can cast my vanilla 3/3s, but
Yeah, that's fair.
hopefully I don't draw them.
That is fair. All right, I am going to... Oh, I guess I'm not casting that this turn. 4, 5, 6.
So far, one of the real keys for me has been having a creature land. Like the lair was what closed out the one game I won with werewolves. If I had a creature land here, I'd feel really, really good about this game. Mm-hmm. More creature lands.
So this is tough. It's how many cards do I want to realistically get? I'm gonna put one on bottom, one on top. So 2 on bottom, 1 on top. Then I'm going to play field 3, 4, 5, 6. Have to all runs.
Yeah. Replace those birds.
Yeah, I can at least deal with Ren if I don't need them for blocking. So, all right, I'll draw that card I knew about. Chapter 3.
And chapter 3 just happens.
Yeah, but it goes to chapter 3. You know, you can always bounce it and stuff. But
yeah.
Not that that is very good against your gigantic creatures, so we'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
And now we got to do some digging. Kept the expressive iteration on top. Okay. I'll put Yikes.
I kept 4 lands Ren and 7 this game.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm not going to be able to draw cards off Chapter 3 at battle, it looks like, which is sad.
Blew all your epiphanies early.
Yeah.
What were you thinking, Corey?
I know, I was trying to stay alive. All right, I guess I have to put... Oh my god, this is so tough.
So to finish my story, I was taking the ferry over to Shelbyville, and I had an onion on my belt, which was the style at the time.
Oh boy.
The scene cuts out at that point. There is no continuation.
Thank you for that. Let's go with... I think I need to exile this, which is not good for me.
I like cards that don't affect the battlefield.
I think I need to put this here and this here. Actually, I want to go like this and leave 2 red open. And I will... Deluge. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with 2 magic cards. And I will... I'm going to play a land, but which one? All right, I'm going to play this land. And I guess I just have to pass to you. Yep, okay, pass to you.
Okay.
Not feeling good.
Plus Ren and 7.
Okay. So close to a brick.
I will play Mistgate Pathway.
Okay.
I will play Mind Flayer.
Oh my god! What?
I would like a bird, please.
Well, you win.
I would then use your bird, a Mind Flayer, to crew Chariot.
All right, GG.
I laughed when I drew the player because I talked about not playing the second blue source, and I found it on the last card off the Ren.
Yep. And you could have just stormed, if anything, right? 5, 6, 7, 8.
No, it's 10 to.
Oh, it's 10. That's right. Yeah. All right. Well,
so
GG.
Needed the blue source. It's kind of cute to be able to just get
Take a bird and crew. Yeah. Yeah.
And the land was important anyway because I figured you had Burning Hand, so I wanted to get my Tree Folk to 8/8 because then you can't double chump and then kill one with 6 damage.
That was my big contemplation because I'm like, okay, I wanted to attack. You know, even if you block one, I could Burning Hands it then. And I'm hoping you didn't hit a land so I could chump, Burning Hand ones, but even that was pretty unlikely. Yeah. And yeah, once Ren and 6 tokens get that out of hand, it's really tough to beat. And like I had Divide by 0 to get Mascot Exhibition soon, but everything just didn't really line up too well, and yeah, Ren just crushed me.
And in the in the sort of nightmare scenario where I draw like Root Coil, Creeper, and then completely brick off Ren,
Yeah.
I honestly was probably going to crew Chariot and just let you Burning Hands that rather than
Yeah.
lose my big Tree Folk.
Yeah. Well, yeah, honestly, the point where I lost the game is I made a judgment call on turn 4. I had Dwari Disruption plus Catharic, Pyre, and all runs, and you had 4 lands plus your creature. If I just Pyre that and leave up Dwari, I win that game. But I was like, yeah, you didn't jam Ren last turn, or you didn't jam Azika's Chariot, so I was like, yeah, I should be fine. But yeah, I had Battle of Frost and Fire for turn 5, and that was another factor. I was like, I didn't want to kill that creature when I wanted to battle on turn 5, and that kind of greedy line cost me the game.
Well, that was surprising.
Yeah,
And
hated
we're going
it.
to take a break, and I'm going to actually get to go to sideboarding up a game and see if I can get this match, which would be great, because then I think the most favorable matchup for me is coming up at the end of the show. So I feel really good about my spot right now. We're going to take a quick break here, get our sideboard set up, and then we'll come back and finish this match between Bant Festival and Izzet Turns. Don't go anywhere.
All right, everybody, welcome back to sideboarding here between Izzet Turns and Bant Festival. From my end, a little bit of an interesting take here on some sideboarding things. These are basically reserved specifically for mirror matches and like maybe mono black control and stuff like that. I'm going to try them out here where you're bringing in a decent amount of counter spells and they just still hit Ren. They still hit Azika's Chariot.
And Storm the Festival. All my high-end threats
yeah.
are non-creature cards.
Exactly. So there may be even some world where I want to bring in more and completely reshape like how I sideboard. Like maybe less Battle of Frost and Fire. Like maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna try it with still bringing in the cards I think are good against green decks. But admittedly, I had not played against the Bant deck yet, especially Brad's version, which seems pretty well tuned. So we're going to bring in those. 2 more answers to Redain when I have enough lands. You're usually slower than the Werewolf and Mono Green, so I'll have time to hit a 3rd land even if it's on turn 5. And then Lightning Bolt to Redain could be really powerful.
And it still kills my mana creatures.
Yeah.
So important when you're on the draw.
Exactly. And then we're going to bring in our 1 copy of Burn Down the House as well as our 4th copy of Burning Hand. Going to take out Cinderclasms. I think I have enough Wraths, and this one's a little too narrow. Going to take out 1 All Runs, 1 Divide by 0, and then 2 Memory Deluge since they're a little slow. But I might make some changes after this game. I'm kind of trying this out, and I'm not 100% sure on it, to be honest.
And on my side, there's a pretty clear sideboard plan. In my eyes, I want to get my removal out. There's very few targets. And then I don't want as much acceleration because Corey just has good answers. So I'd rather have some more aggressive elements in my deck. So I'm bringing Ranger Class and Redan, which also gives me some disruption. Cutting to the weaker acceleration, the ones that just die to removal and don't actually accelerate.
Yep.
Innkeeper is like 1 bit of acceleration and the life gain's irrelevant.
Yep.
And then bringing in a bunch of counter spells, in particular Test of Talents. Excellent here. So a nice mix.
Yeah, I think with Test of Talents coming in, and when I expect that more for Standard, I like to aggressively foretell an all runs, so that if I do play an all runs, I leave that foretell one, because all you really need is the 1 to combo.
Yeah.
So then I'm at least not cold to it. Now, there's times I do not have the luxury to do so, and I just have to kind of hope, but that's going to be something that's going to be on my mind in the post-board games.
Yeah.
Until I forget, and then I still just do it anyways, but...
Oh, just remember, I have an onion on my belt.
Yeah? Okay.
It was a style at the time.
Okay. What do I dare ask what that...
It's obviously from The Simpsons.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that was stupid of me to
Yeah,
think.
it's a classic Abe Simpson scene.
Anytime Ross just rambles on and it sounds like he's quoting something, it's always The Simpsons.
I only play one way.
Yeah, he's just like rambling on, and I'm like, Ross, we're in church. No, I'm just kidding.
At least make it believable.
Yeah, that's true. Ross, we're at the bar. All right, I'm going to be going first here. Do you have a question for us at all, Justin?
Speaking of onions on belts and burning down the house and everything,
What?
We need to put Todd's mind at rest. Have you burned down Todd's house? He wants to know.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to know.
He watches this show sometimes. We should have been clearer about which kitchen you were burning down.
I've left the oven on a time or two for an hour or so.
Todd, get house insurance.
It was fine.
Get house insurance right now. You're gonna make him go back to strong sad. You know, he's trying to be this new happy Tandy person, and if you burn down his house, he's gonna be strongly sad at you.
Yeah.
Huh?
As he should be.
As he should be. All right. That's a great question. Great question. I'm going to start this off, and I'll keep. Nothing special, but it's fine.
Is it, though?
It is, yes.
Yeah, you are playing an Izzet deck.
Yeah, touche.
And, wow, this hand is so much better than all my other hands from game one.
I don't know. Your game one hand destroyed me.
I'm amazed.
Go. I laugh at you like, it's still a mulligan, but they're a lot better.
Yeah. Deserted Beach.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to play a Pathway, and I'll pass to you.
I will play a Branch Loft Pathway and a Root Coil Creeper.
Zakrepa? All right, we'll counter that.
You're up.
All right, I'm going to start it off with a Expressive Iteration.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
It's a good turn for Corey to tap out for something like that. I don't really have super threatening 3-drops like the girl deck does.
Got to prepare against Izzet's Chariot, but don't necessarily need to prepare against other stuff. Which one of these
I'm
cards
cast
do we want?
Spellbinder and obliterate his hand.
Yes, of course. All right, I'm going to put this card into my hand, this one on bottom, and play this one. Pass to you.
Okay. Deserted Beach and a Ranger Class.
Okay.
You're up.
Oh, tap, a
Myself
draw.
Wolf token.
Oh. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Play Field of Ruin.
That's what you wanted to do?
That is what I wanted to do. I'm just debating. I'm trying to think about your mana base, is what I'm trying to do.
It's got a lot of pathways in it.
Yep, I figured.
A lot of slow lands.
Yeah, how many basics you got?
Enough.
Kind of want to do this now. I know you don't really have anything to do at instant speed with your mana. Are you trying to look?
Nope. Just looking to the side of the room for no reason.
I'm going to say go, and at your upkeep, I'm going to field the Pathway and see what you got.
Yeah, I'll find a forest.
Yeah, all right. Dang it. I couldn't cut you off any other land anyways, and I only want my 2-mana interactive spells, so figure it didn't matter too much.
Just thinning my deck for me.
I got you. That's what friends do.
Fortunately, I need to draw land.
Fair enough.
That was a lie. I've got plenty of lands.
I never trust anything you say, so
That's smart. I will play one of my many lands.
okay.
Let's make it a Hengegate Pathway,
Okay.
and I will attack for 2.
Okay.
And I'll play Izzet Chariot.
18 and Cadillac, huh? Yeah, that's probably gonna destroy me, but yeah, it resolves.
You got some kitty cats, and you're up.
Okay. I will. Let's go. Just debating which side to play my land here. It doesn't matter too much. We'll go with Lava Glide. And I have to play one of my big spells while you're tapped out, I think. And
Yeah, a Sweep Air.
let's go with that. Will you crew that quick for me? That would make things a little easier. Past you.
Okay, big turn.
Uh-oh. I don't like the look of that.
We did it, chat.
You did it?
I didn't have a good play this turn, and I drew Ren and 7.
Oh my god! Wow.
I need more green mana, so let's play Branch Left Pathway.
Okay.
And play Ren and 7.
Tick up.
And I will minus make a tree folk, crew chariot, attack, make a tree folk.
All right, I'm at 14.
Man, has anybody else figured out this combo? It's really good. Oh, yeah, you're 14.
I'm going to personally go to your house and burn it down. Sorry, Todd. All right.
Todd, now you can't blame me when it burns down. You know it was Corey.
Well, these cards are all bad. I'm going to go to the bottom. And I'm going to play a land. And I'm going to burn down your house.
Well, that's a tilt.
All right. I'll pass to you. I still just want that chariot gone. It's creating some bad news bears for me.
Well, the good news is now I actually still have a good play, and that is Storm the Festival.
Okay.
Well, maybe good. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Top 5.
I mean, this looks great so far.
Okay, well, that's a good start.
Oh, my God. Oh. This deck is destroying me.
Well, Ranger class is the next best of the other options.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
I was just saying I pray anything but Ren and 7, and you got Ren and 7 plus a thing, so that's not good.
So get a wolf from the Ranger class, make a tree folk with Ren, crew the chariot, attack for 4, get another tree folk.
Yeah.
Puts you to 10.
Okay.
I'll pass the turn.
All right. For thinking what I can do here. And it's not much.
I just curved out. Root Crawler Creeper into Ranger class, into Chariot, into Ren, into Storm the Festival.
Yeah. All right. I guess Frostbite that.
Wolfly down.
I'll draw Chapter 3. That might have been the worst draw in my deck. Sweet.
So it wasn't Alrund's Epiphany.
Yeah, it was not. I'm at 10. I think I'm just dead. Yeah, yikes. I have this land. Once again, not triggering my Battle of Frost and Fire. Sweet. And I'll pass to you. I guess I have to do this before because you can just play a land. So I got to kill one.
Kill one now. Draw.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't good, but I definitely want to play Hall this turn.
Okay.
Plus Ren.
All right. You have halls too? Oh my god.
Yeah, I have 2 Halls as my creature lands.
Oh, that's nice.
And now...
Dang it, Brad and his good deck building. Thought we were brothers, man.
Let's go to level 2 on a Ranger class.
Okay.
I could try to attack with... You definitely don't have another Burning Hands, right? You would have just killed both tree folks.
Yeah, that's probably a
on
good
your
call.
turn. So what do you have? I guess you could have Divide by 0 on the Chariot, but is that even bad? I could just recast it and get 2 more cats. You'd stay at 10 life. I'm not killing you with this tree folk. It would be attacking for 8. And I'd still be presenting lethal next turn once I got the 2 cats. But then you'd get to learn. I mean, you're going to get to do that anyway. So do I just want to get the damage in? I don't know. This is kind of a tough call.
I like this band deck, though. Like, if you can do decent against this, like, I haven't felt very good. And, like, the thing that I take advantage of against these other Izzet Chariot decks is you have a lot of bad creatures that I get to point removals at.
Yeah,
like,
just things you get to 1 for 1.
Yeah, and of course, Chariot just resolved. I didn't have Dwari Disruption or Disdainful Stroke, and the game looks different if we had that. But, yeah, so far, this just felt really tough for my end, where I didn't think it was going to be that bad of a matchup.
I'm going to go for the crew on Chariot.
Bring it.
Attack.
All right.
Target, tree folk, get a counter on Chariot.
You got it. I'm at 5.
That's, that was interesting. I will 3rd level on on one of these Ranger classes.
That resolves.
Already played a land, and I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I'm at 5.
And I have on board 3 lethal attackers.
But I drew an Expressive Iteration.
That's a good card.
Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, I just had lands. Good lands,
So
but
did I.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was live to, if you didn't have Hall, if you didn't play Hall, I just cast that for 6 this turn and go to 2 and pray. But with the Hall, that play was taken off the line too. There was always these, yeah, and like even the turn that Hall went off for Chapter 3, if I had a little bit more time, my play was going to be just Seagate Restoration. You know, I would have drawn up to 4 cards
the battle,
and then go up to 8 or 9 cards or something. But yeah, you just didn't give me time. Izzet Chariot resolved and just took over. I had some decisions where I just like let you untap, and I have like Burning Hands for Chariot, and just try to deal with it first before I go with battle. But then I run the foul of if you have counter spells, which it totally would make sense that you could, you know. Or Redain, where I try to kill Chariot, and then you play Redain, or have counter spells for my sweepers, then I'm dead. So I was kind of pressured into playing battle on turn 5, and it was still fine, but Ren just destroyed me. So
yeah. A couple good hits on my end. If I don't hit that first.
But I mean,
Ren,
you drew it at the last time. You could have easily just had it in your hand. You know, like so.
Yeah,
it wasn't even that.
Just had a strong curve.
Yeah, your draw wasn't even insane or anything, but it felt really tough for me. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2-0 here. We've got 10. Do you want to just get to the last match and maybe stretch that to 5?
Yeah,
or?
let's do that. Let's do that, because I think these are going to be the 2 decks that I would recommend playing. Now, after playing this, I kind of like this. You know, this one's on the radar for me.
We didn't even get to see the disruptive elements of the deck and what they can do. Like, I beat you with the green part of the deck, which is that's the part you're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
So
Brad Nelson just keeps making good standard decks, and I love it when it gets handed to me and I play them for events. But when it gets handed to my opponents and they beat me with it because there's a good sideboard guide on StarCityGames.com as well, I don't feel good about that. Not cool.
I feel great.
Not cool. All right, everyone, that does it. We are 1-1. We're going to be playing for the marbles next round. Now, this is going to be, I would say, maybe the hardest matchup for Izzet, at least on paper. You know, I have played it a decent bit. In just testing and stuff, but it hasn't felt unwinnable, but it did feel tough. So it's just the pressure, the same elements that you have from like the werewolves, except you have probably the toughest to deal with card for me, and that's just Old Growth Troll. Yeah. You know, and
4 toughness, 3 drops, a more consistent mana base.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have some disdainful strokes and stuff. So if you just like on turn 4 have like Old Growth Troll instead of just jamming Chariot and stuff, and I'm just holding disdainful stroke and Dwari Disruption, I'm like, well, I better hope I have Burning Hands.
Cathartic Fire.
Yeah, I better hope I have Burning Hands. We got Burning Hands in the main now, so it gives us a little bit better chance. But that's going to be the match that we're getting ready for now. We're going to take a short 5-minute break, and we'll be right back with our final round here on Versus Live.
Hello and welcome back to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Justin in the booth. Give me 5 Bs for a quarter, Justin.
Give me 5 Bs for a quarter, Justin.
Justin will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Corey, it seems like you might have a concern, so you should jump in the chat and let Justin know.
I have no follow-up to what you just said. Thank you, though.
But if you do have that concern, you want to get in the chat and do that, make sure you tag at Star City Games so Justin can see it, and he'll send his favorites over to us. We are playing an Izzet Turns Standard Gauntlet. It is the new hotness this week in Standard, and so far looking pretty beatable. We had a close matchup against the Temur Werewolves deck, a slight adjustment, just splashing for some counter spells in the sideboard, and that was a close win for Izzet Turns, and then a seeming upset. I thought that was going to be the easiest match of the 3 going in, but it's a Brad Nelson deck. I guess he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he had the Izzet strategies in mind. What a jerk.
Yeah, he spent years here living with Todd and no one else, and Todd played nothing but Izzet decks. So I'm sure Brad has played 7,000 matches in his lifetime against Izzet.
Yeah.
Of all various, flavors. So, yeah, well experienced.
Or maybe he's just good at Magic and knows what's up. And honestly, it was the one card that's given me a lot of problems over, like, what I lose to the most, I would think, on the ladder, is Ren and 7 getting out of hand. There's games when I can take care of it and it's not that big of a deal, but there are games when if it ever goes unchecked, I don't come back, I don't have actual wraths, and then once you got to that point where it's like, okay, I can no longer beat those Ren tokens, I have to go over the top with the combo, and if I don't have that, I can't beat you,
Maybe you shouldn't have cut those on summons.
I mean, the unsummons are a big deal for that. They really are. So, like, that is the price I was paying. I'm using Burning Hands instead, and it's the same as unsummon, except more versatile, except past turn 6, you know? So
maybe you want to sideboard a couple unsummons, maybe make one.
Maybe.
Just to have one there, right? Because you have, between Deluge and Iteration, like, you see a lot of cards. So
exactly.
Maybe you just want a single copy there just for those sticky situations.
I did have one single copy, and it was like the last minute switch. I switched to, I can't even remember what, but I did have one for a little bit.
That could definitely be it. But this last match, going in, this is what we thought was going to be the biggest test. It's why we saved it for the end. This is mono green aggro. And we've talked about that classic metagame evolution where people start playing mid-range decks that beat up on untuned aggressive decks. And then the mid-range decks get tuned and they beat up on all the aggressive decks, and then they get in these arms races, and everybody goes bigger and bigger and bigger until somebody finds I'm going to ignore the interaction that you're doing, and I'm going to go way over the top of you.
Sidestep it. Yep.
And those decks tend to be vulnerable to the aggro decks that are going underneath them. And while this deck does interact quite a bit, still doesn't want to see that much pressure.
Yeah, and that is the nice thing is when that happens, I've seen this kind of thing in Standard for so long. It's like you get to that mid-range arms race, and then control beats whatever the top of that is, and then, those decks kind of have to reevaluate, and then there's an aggressive deck to come in and beat the control deck that's taking advantage of the mid-range deck, and that's the start of your first rock, paper, scissors metagame in a Standard, and that is what I think it is. It beats Mopey mid-range, I mean, just as I just got beat, but, whatever. Just in the grand scope of things, mid-range beats hyper-aggressive decks, and then hyper-aggressive decks beat Izzet. Like, that's what I think is the first rock, paper, scissors of this, but it's still early. SCG, we're going to learn a lot this weekend.
It often comes down to, that might be the general shape of the format, but then it comes down to specific lists and sideboard strategies that people can use to say, well, yes, you still beat me, but not as much as you think, and I have a great matchup here, so my deck is overall better. Those are the kind of things that go into metagaming for these tournaments. So, that rock, paper, scissors isn't that simple because there's so much nuance with the details of the lists. And I'm actually playing a mono green list that's a little different than most. It won one of the challenges last weekend, and I really like it. It does not play Renin 7. So which might excite you because that's the card you've been losing to.
I'm excited.
But the card I'm playing instead is Unnatural Growth. The 1 and quadruple green enchantment. At the beginning of combat, you double your creature's power and toughness. I think that's a card that really fits more into this deck style of being that aggressive. You don't get the great synergy with Izzet's Chariot, but you just get to dominate battlefields when people make, when you're just staring at green creatures over and over again.
I think that is going to be a card that's not going to be good against me, but is going to be good against mid-range. Would be my guess. Of course, there's going to be some times when it just kills me, but it seems like win more against me, and mid-range it seems very necessary because they go bigger than you. So, we'll see. But, also one last thing. We've been talking about mono black, in the rock, paper, scissors. It is just... instead of rock, paper, scissors or anything, it's just deflated balloon. Everything beats it. Yeah, it's just a sad balloon, gets smashed, gets cut, gets covered, so just keep that in mind, y'all.
Corey just doesn't know how to play with Eye Twitch or Whisper Squad. Basically, one mana black creatures of any kind.
Yeah, I know. I have this really big problem that shadows me. I like to win games of Standard, so I'm not a big fan of those cards. I agree with you. All right. This is a keep.
Same.
This has got to be what I'd be essentially looking for. I'll pass to you.
I have Forest Goat.
Okay.
Sorry, Snow-Covered Forest.
Snow-Covered Mountain Goat.
A Snow-Covered Mountain Goat?
Yes.
Forest Werewolf Pack Leader.
Pack Leader. Okay, let's give it those hands. I will draw. Not a good draw. I'll play Field of Ruin, and I'll pass to you.
Good card against me.
Yeah, very strong. You got some Faithless Havens, I think.
Yeah. Forest, Kazandu Mammoth. I kind of like the list that just play 8 creature lands. This list only plays 4 Faceless Haven, no layers. I would definitely be playing some number of layers, but I guess they want.
Yeah, I like some layers and Faithless as well. Yeah, that resolves, and I'll kill it again. Done.
Once again, game 1 against the green deck. Corey draws all his Burning Hands.
Yep. Hey, my opener was 2 Burning Hands. The first 4 cards I saw were these, and these I was like, I'll keep. I don't care what the rest of my hand was.
Yeah,
I'll pass to
you. Okay, I've got Forest and the classic turn 4 Old Growth Troll to dodge all of your counter spells after you've cast your 2 Burning Hands.
Oh, believe it or not, it's going to resolve.
Pass the turn.
All right, I got to do it. Memory Deluge. All right. I got magic cards. Now, what do I want to do with them? It kind of seems like I want these two. Can't beat that card ever anyways, so... I think it's just these two. Maybe we'll cast both of them next turn. There's a chance I want the land, but since the land is just another island, I'm going to bottom it. Own tip.
Corey said bottom.
You're so mature. You're so mature, Ross. Okay, I'm going to start with an Expressive Iteration. My favorite Magic card.
Notable spin-off to My Favorite Martian.
You just keep saying words, huh? Good for you. It's good for you that you have that kind of confidence to just keep saying things, huh?
It's been a weird day today.
All right, let's go with this in exile, this into my hand, this on bottom. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to foretell. Pass to you.
Okay, looks like Corey's ready to start taking turns. Oh, we did it.
Oh, no.
Drew the 5th land, and it's a good one that you do have the Field of Ruin.
Yeah.
But I get to play Unnatural Growth.
Okay, I was like, okay, here comes Ren and 7.
Attack for 8.
8, okay.
Pass the turn.
I'm at 12.
Threatening lethal next turn.
Wow.
It's particularly good with Troll because it tramples.
Yeah, that's kind of cute and kind of disgusting at the same time. Wow.
Oh, Natural Growth isn't going to be good against me.
Shut up. Okay, what do we want to do? Definitely want to play this land.
Definitely want to play this Alrund's Epiphany.
Oh, not really.
This is Corey thinking, like, I don't want a 1-for-1 with my sweeper, but I kind of have to. I think that might be what the tension here.
Something.
He just doesn't feel good about that.
That doesn't make me that happy. I would have to agree. Tough choice. I'll pass to you.
Okay. Now I'm in an interesting spot. I would love to just cast the leftmost card of my hand, but I think that leaves me too vulnerable to a lot of things, so I am just going to go to combat.
Okay.
Trigger this and attack for 8.
I'll take it. I'm at 4.
Brings you to 4.
Can't wait.
Got another land.
Okay.
And you can't flash back the Deluge on only 6. I definitely want to cast something. But with Corey at 4, this really doesn't
sorry.
do a
One
whole
thing I
lot.
want to do, my bad. I want to do this in combat.
Oh, just to deny
Yeah,
me
because
now.
I'm going to do that for sure, so.
That's fine.
Yeah, my bad. I don't think it matters too much, but.
No. Yes, I definitely want to make Corey commit some sort of mana. So I guess I just have to play the better threat in my hand, and that is Zika's Chariot. Probably get Disdainful Stroke or something.
That's not cool.
Apparently this is going to work. I think a Disdainful Stroke would have been cast by now.
Yeah, I do not have a Disdainful Stroke.
So I guess we'll get rid of the S and just call it Cat. That was a horrible pun.
That was pretty
I
good.
was trying to come up with something and I couldn't.
All right, I guess that resolves.
Yeah, I'll pass the turn. I feel like there's a divide by 0 there, but maybe that probably would have gotten cast instead of taking 8. But what is in your hand? Nothing? Doing nothing?
I'd like to do nothing if you don't mind.
Corey, I thought you said this deck was busted.
Yeah.
You keep doing nothing. I keep doing things. Remember match 1 when you won? You did things.
I did do things. Ugh. Yeah, this is brutal. Yeah, that growth I did not expect to be this good, but it's put me in a very weird spot multiple turns in a row.
I think the card is actively very good.
Yeah. Well, I guess I have no real choice but to stall a little bit longer.
My guess is this is the Epiphany turn.
I
because
think,
you need
yeah.
blockers.
I think it might have to be, which I didn't want to do. But here we are. Yep, all Epiphany.
Get yourself some birdies.
Birdies. On top. I will play another land. Yeah, that's been very interesting as well. That interaction. All right,
Yeah.
I will pass to you.
Sweeper's awkward here with me having 2 mana up.
Yep. Yep. That caused some problems this game.
Oh, that was the best possible draw. I will play Faceless Haven.
Okay.
I will animate it.
Okay.
I will Blizzard Brawl it and a bird token. The Faceless Haven is the least valuable creature, so I want to fight with it. If Corey has a removal spell, I can still Crew Chariot in response and have 4 attackers. All of which will be lethal because of the unnatural growth.
Yep.
Yeah. I drew the Haven. It was... It's going to take quite a bit for Corey to get out of this. I guess bounce on the unnatural growth.
I gotta figure out how my card works here. I actually don't know how this interaction works. So I think I have to...
If you remove the target, they don't fight.
Well, I know that.
Okay.
I know that, but
What interaction?
it is much more complex. So I'm trying to think if there's any other option I can do besides learning how this interaction works. But okay, I'll see if this works. So Galvanic Iteration.
Resolves.
And then if I flash this back like right now, how does that work? It copies itself?
Yeah, when you cast your next, so you will copy Galvanic Iteration, and then you'll have 2 iterations. But because it's because you haven't cast the copies, those won't interact with each other. And then the next spell you cast, you'll get 3 of.
Okay. Well, all right. If that's the case, then this
Yeah.
actually keeps me alive, maybe. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to kick Cinderclasm. So I'm going to get 3 Cinderclasms. So if I only got 2 Cinderclasms, it doesn't work, right? Because you let 1 resolve,
Yeah.
and then you crew. But now with 3...
You're still dead, right?
How?
I just put the troll on a forest, make a 4/4 crew the chariot after everything resolves.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's still pretty cool, but...
Yeah.
All right. Yep, you got me.
So, were you literally just dead? The turn I attacked you to 4, I could have just played second and natural growth and 16'd you. That was the turn I played chariot.
The troll comes in tap. By the way.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So you do still live.
We're not
I did not
done.
realize the troll enter. Yeah, I guess that does leave you alive.
Okay. So yeah, Cinderclasm 1 and 2 and 3.
Well, that's annoying.
I think I'm still in trouble next turn, but well, I guess I do have Hall, but that is tapped, huh? Okay.
Yeah, well, I haven't made it yet, so I guess.
But it is tapped
yeah,
when it comes
and
in.
it's not
okay.
sorcery speed. I get to make it on the end step.
Yep.
That's nonsense. Why did? Come on.
What?
I guess that they don't want you to be able to use it as like a combat trick,
Yeah, that makes sense.
but they let you. So it's either then just make me use it
Land
as a
go.
sorcery. So end step, I have to sack the forest, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And step, I'll make a 4/4
Tap
troll
troll.
warrior.
Okay.
We might have missed those.
No tap troll warriors if you got it. It's a 4/4.
Yeah.
Just use the
Just using-
backside of
just
something.
using
Yeah, that
trample.
works.
It's a 4/4.
Okay.
But it does have trample. And then I will play Unnatural Growth number 2.
Okay.
I would like to go to combat.
Go ahead.
Attack you for 16.
Doesn't trample though, does it?
Yeah, it does.
I don't see trample on
The
it.
troll has trample.
Dang it. Okay, yeah, I guess that. Well, I can go. All right, beginning with the triggers on the stack, I guess.
Yeah.
I have to pyre. I will discard, 2 cards and draw 2. And you win. Okay.
Okay.
Are you positive that's how iteration works? It just copies itself, so then I would have 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the next spell you cast, so you have a copy of it. So now you have 2 copies of Galvanic Iteration. Then the next spell you cast, they both set up a trigger.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
That's it.
Yeah, the growth was insane there. I'll completely eat all the words I've said throughout this show because that was the card that got me. I'd battle Frost and Fire, and I was going to try to Wrath you, but then it was so awkward with you being able to put a troll in and then attack with Chariot. Like that, I couldn't get around like the entire game because the whole setup, I had iteration, all run Storm. So that's all I was trying to do was just to make sure on turn 8, which I was making land drops every turn, I do that. I had to do it 1 turn sooner and, couldn't beat it. You just came out too fast. So
2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up the curve.
all right, looks like I got to win the last 2 games to keep the marble. Otherwise, Ross is going to come back. But you know what? I remember a show. It was
I think
just
like the last 3 shows in a row this has happened. But
so I have faith that I can do this. We're going to take a short break and be right back with sideboarding here on Versus Live. All right, everybody, welcome back to sideboarding here between Izzet Turns and Mono Green Snow. From my end, I wanted to just bring in Burn Down the House and Burning Hands. I have the other stroke, but you can just play around it pretty well. Azika's Chariot is very good, so you get to put me in the squeeze a lot where like if you're already ahead, why put Chariot into play in the face of a disdainful stroke when you can do that after I deal with what you have?
Yeah.
And,
this deck has a lot of mana sinks too. Ranger class, World Pack Leader, Faceless Haven.
Exactly. So that stuff just kind of scares me, so I don't want to overload on counter spells. That's one way I envision myself losing. So just taking out one of the Memory Deluge and then 1 Cinderclasm and calling it good.
Yeah, and pretty easy sideboarding on my side as well. Don't want the removal. There's 5 removal spells. There's 5 really good cards on my sideboard for matchups like this. Toski we saw in match 1. And then Snakeskin Veil is a way to protect it for Divide by 0, to protect really any of my creatures. It's great at protecting Chariot because you don't have an opportunity to kill it until I crew it. And anything like that. There's just that 1 mana tempo is going to be great. I love Veil in this matchup.
And this is why we saved this for last because these are the cards. These are the 2 cards that Izzet doesn't want to see the most. And when you can combine them to make it like, when I have an obvious disdainful stroke and now you get to just jam Toski, it's just like the game is already over. So, I think this is why I'm the most afraid of this matchup. And, I do not feel great about this, the end of this match. But if I'm going to win any game, it's going to be this next one when I'm on the play. That's for sure.
Yeah, that we've seen, unsurprisingly, being on the play matters a lot.
Yeah, who would have guessed? Okay, so I'm going to start. Justin, you got a question at all when we get ready?
Yeah, this one actually just came in.
Hot off the press?
Hot off the press.
Out of the kitchen.
Okay. Burn it down the kitchen?
Said, I want to get into this, but it seems confusing. Too many decks and boosters. Any recommendations for beginners?
Too many decks for what? Sorry.
Too many decks and boosters. It's all kind of overwhelming for
There's a lot of different products and...
yeah.
I've always thought the intro decks that they make are great for very new players.
Yes.
That's a great product, so I'd look specifically for intro decks.
Or if you like Commander, the Commander intro decks I think are really cool too.
Commander, I think, is a tough thing to get into right from the beginning.
You think so?
Yeah, because there's just a lot of deck building in it. Like the deck build is pretty hard. And the intro decks, they're stripped down. It's sort of like playing core set cards.
Yeah.
So you don't have as many mechanics. You get to, just get a feel for the fundamentals of the game. And that's the stuff that you need down first. And then you start building with all the cool mechanics from different sets over the years. So that's always the thing I would stress. Also, and then once you get a feel for intro decks, dual decks are a really good one. Just two decks in a product. They're designed to play against each other. They're a little bit more complex. So that would be a nice stepping stone. And then you can go from there.
Yeah, and then I think the next place to go from there to get you started, especially if you want to start digitally as well, is just start with booster drafting on Arena. For those, they're not incredibly expensive when you're starting, and you get a lot of the cards, and, when you start at a low rank, it's not that hard as far as the games go, so it gets to kind of guide you in. The rank system is very good for new players, I will say. When you start at that lower rank, especially later in the month, you get a feel of it. You get some players that maybe, aren't spikes and stuff too. So you get to progressively learn while you climb up the ranks, and then you get to get a collection slowly but surely. You're collecting wild cards, you're doing all that stuff, and it's just a fun way to start. I think drafting is like kind of how everyone got into Magic, Maybe not everyone. That's how I got in. Like, I just loved booster draft when I got into competitive Magic.
Yeah, that was definitely my intro to competitive Magic.
Yeah.
But
Intro Magic was just 85 card F&M decks, and just throw stuff in, and that's a good place to start too, is F&M. Yeah.
Once you get comfortable with things like that.
Yeah.
But, if you're just hanging around the kitchen with a friend of yours trying to learn, the intro decks are definitely where I'd start.
Yeah, and don't invite Ross over to cook if you're just hanging in the kitchen too. It's a liability reason for your landlord.
Yeah, so there's risk and reward. The food's good, but you might die.
That's true. All right, I'm going to start.
Maybe not die, but at least be horribly maimed.
Yeah. So you're fine.
Not to mention the emotional scar that lasts for years and cost you so much money in therapy.
I don't know. Last week you did cook some pasta thing for me that was delicious, so I'll give you some credit.
It was caramelized onion and fennel rigatoni served over whipped ricotta infused with fried sage and topped with crushed pistachios and fried sage.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know some of those words. Let me eat it, and I did, and it was delicious. So I'm good. You good?
No, this hand is way too slow. I don't have a productive play until turn 4.
Okay. Yeah, this might be my best hand so far. It's not like overly hateful cards, but it just curves. And I think I've stumbled on the curve a few times. And this deck, especially against all the aggressive decks we've been playing against, can't really do that. If I get paid against Golgari Snow or whatever, I can just probably throw around my cards because I have the time to do so. But up against all of these faster incline Chariot decks, with your second deck being the exception, I don't know what happened there. I just blinked all of a sudden, and I'm just looking at a board state that's impossible to win. But yeah,
Renin 7 and Chariot went unanswered.
Yeah, I think that might catch on.
Yeah,
I think we might be the first people to ever try that.
It's a good thing people watch our show so they can keep abreast of all the latest tech.
Thank God. Yeah, I mean, World Championship next weekend. That'll be okay to help people's game, but versus live is the pinnacle.
It's number one,
of
for
course.
sure.
Yes.
Okay, definitely a keeper of a hand. Interesting decision as to what I want to put back. Generally, I err towards just putting expensive cards back. Want to make sure I have my early game covered. And in this case, I think the early game cards actually go well with the rest of my hand. So, yeah, I will definitely do that.
Pass to you.
I will play a Kazandu Valley.
Okay. A land, a pass to you.
I will play a Forest and a Lotus Cobra.
Kill it.
You're up.
I will play another land and pass to you.
Forest and Ranger class.
Ranger class. This one's close. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, get a wolf and pass.
All right, I'll kill it.
All snakes can veil the wolf.
Okay, I won't kill it. I'll untap, though. I will play a land and pass to you.
Forest, Toski.
Fun.
Started to use 2 removal spells. Using Jancy as a counter spell. I used the Snakeskin Veil because I planned on tapping out for Toski this turn. Wanted to have the creature on the battlefield and use my mana.
Yeah, that's a scary one. We're gonna do some division. What do I want to learn? I think I just want to get my big spell because I have some lands.
Attack for 3. You're at 17.
17.
Pass the turn.
I think my whole goal here is try to minimize that Toski at this point because I can't really ever beat it. So yeah, there you go. Pass to you.
Okay. Well, with Corey tapped out, I guess I'll take this turn to play Chariot.
Yeah, sounds right. And here's
Get a
the
couple of cats
squeeze.
and pass the turn.
All right, all right. I'll draw, do some scrying. It's kind of nice to be able to scry, and if I have iteration or memory deluge, I get to kind of see what I am going to hit, which is kind of cute. Yeah, I'm going to leave, strangely enough, just going to leave 1 on top, 2 on bottom.
Bottom.
What's up? Oh my god. All right, I'm going to play Jwari Ruins and pass to you.
Now my bottom's big.
You're so weird. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'll play a land and cast Toski.
Yeah, can't do anything to it, so you got it.
Okay, and then I'll activate Ranger class, get to level 2,
Sure,
declare attacks.
sure.
I'm just going to send in with the cats. I want to draw cards.
Where would you like to put that counter?
One of the cats.
Kill it.
Okay, you take 2, I draw a card.
Yep.
It was Cathartic Pyre, so I kind of got punished. I really didn't want to crew and have you burning hands. It would
Yeah.
have been really devastating.
Yeah, I was just going to Cathartic Power whatever you target, but yeah, I think this works better for
Yeah.
me just by barely.
Hey, you say I gave you 2 life, essentially.
Yeah, we'll go to chapter 3. I'll play Mascot Exhibition. Draw off
Draw
this.
2, discard 1.
Yep. Draw 2. Discard. Probably just the card with flashback. And we'll get these tokens, and I'll pass to you.
Okay.
And I need 1, 2, 1. Okay.
Oh, pretty scripted turn. Play Kazandu Mammoth.
Okay.
Play Faceless Haven.
Okay.
That'll pump the Mammoth so I can crew Chariot.
Cute.
And then I'm going to send in everybody, and I think what I want to do is actually put the counter on the Chariot. Putting it on the Toski is still just a chump block no matter what. Putting it on the Cat still trades with the 3/2. This at least forces a double block. It's a fine double block because you have 6 toughness there, but it'll guarantee get through a creature this turn and draw a card. And I'll make another Cat.
Okay, cat for you. Here. I'll take 5.
Okay, so does the better block for positioning on the battlefield.
Keeping my stuff alive, yep.
Yeah, so you go to 10,
Yep.
and I draw a card.
Yep.
And I can get to level 3 there, but I think I'd rather just play a thing. I'm a little afraid of like Alrund's Epiphany at this point.
Okay.
With the battlefield the way it is. And with Chariot and Faceless Haven and Ranger class and Toski, I'm not super scared of a sweeper. So yeah, I will play Briar Rich Tracker and get a clue.
Okay.
Do we have any clues? Yeah.
I don't have any clues.
Okay, we'll use a
close
treasure
enough.
for now.
Yeah. All right, done?
Yep.
All right. Gonna be a tough battlefield here. Don't think there's anything I can do right now, so I will pass to you. Just need to keep all my blockers up, open up all my opportunity.
Is there a hall over there?
I don't have a hall. You can play like I have one, though.
Okay. Let's start this by playing a land and triggering the Mammoth. I have a 5/5.
Okay.
What is going on over there? You have iteration. Thank you, Justin. Are we going to iterate and like divide by 0? Iterate Burning Hands is probably the best you have. Should I just crack this clue? Kind of want to copy clues with Chariot.
It's pretty cute.
Though maybe not great, seeing as I do just want to end the game. Got 7 mana, 3 cards in hand.
3 cards.
Yeah, this is a tough turn. You can have a lot of things.
That's for sure.
I think. Let's crew Chariot with Tracker. I don't really want to expose Faceless Haven here, so I'm not going to. Crew good?
Yeah. I'm gonna stop you at beginning of combat.
Yeah. Then I want to go to combat.
All right. I'm going to flashback iteration.
Yep.
I got Burning Hands. I'm going to hands these two.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Not bad.
Drew Burning Hands. I guess you.
I drew a lot of cards off battle.
Yeah.
And I discarded Galvanic Iteration, so pretty clear I had some good ones.
Yeah. Okay, I guess all I really am going to do is attack with Toski and start building up some counters on it.
Block.
Until the Elemental can't freely block it.
Yeah.
Let's go to Chapter 3 on Ranger class.
I hope that top card Snakeskin Veil when you could have sacked your clue.
Am I how scared am I of Epiphany? I could like trade here, take 6, then take 8.
Yeah, it doesn't look that scary with Galvanic Iteration being gone, unfortunately.
Yeah. Maybe you just then you probably just wouldn't attack with the Spirit, and let's say I would take 6 and then it's potentially 11. Yeah, 11 if I don't block. Yeah, so it seems very unlikely that I die. So let's crack the clue now, see if I hit a 2-drop.
Okay.
And check, and I did not, so I will pass the turn.
Alrighty, untap, draw. Okay, I suppose we start with Memory Deluge.
It's a good one.
These are magic cards. I think I want these two. Yep. And let's go with a land. Oh, sorry. I should have tapped this differently. Should have been 2 and 2. I had a pathway in hand to be able to play another red source. There we go. And I'll pass to you.
Draw.
Okay. Still in a difficult spot, but not completely unmanageable with the field being able to hit Faithless. But here's the games where Ranger class looks really good, where I don't have... although you haven't hit anything off Ranger class ever, it seems, but...
Yeah, I'm not great at it.
Not great at it, indeed.
I am going to animate the Haven.
Okay.
I would like to declare an attack.
Animate Haven, huh? Interesting. Yeah, sure. Attack away.
I will send with Haven, Tracker, and Toski, and I'm going to put the counter on Haven.
Okay.
Try to draw a card here maybe, or at least force some bad blocks.
I feel like with me having Field of Ruin, this is very suspicious. So it leads me to believe that you did indeed top deck Snakeskin Veil. And then if I field it, I don't even get a land. So that's a blowout, which feels like you're baiting me into. So I'm going to lock like this.
Okay. I have no effects.
Me neither.
Those two trade.
I don't feel great about it, but
And I'll pass the turn.
all right. Memory deluge. Oh, 1, 2, 3. A 4. I'll take this one for sure. And with it's either you have a lot of lands or you have Snakeskin Veil. Otherwise, because you saw cards off Ranger class, so it has to be spells or lands. And you wouldn't have put a counter on the Faithless Haven versus the Toski if it was all land. So I'm putting you on a whatchamacallit. Still just, I don't know if I can beat the battlefield, but whatever. So if that's the case, I guess I want these 2 cards. And hope to find something better. All right, bottom these. Draw.
You're going to be drawing up to card 5.
Yeah. I'm at 10.
That's what I have.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to go with a very weird play.
Say sweeper.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Battle of Frost and Fire.
Cat token down.
That was dealt 4 damage, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
And you don't have a creature land I have to worry about now, so I am going to also foretell. Pass to you.
Draw my card.
Okay.
I will play a Werewolf Pack Leader.
Okay.
I will attack you for 2.
8.
Brings you to 8, and I draw a card.
Yep. God, Toski is so annoying.
I will very awkwardly not hit a creature, so I missed 2 damage, but I'll play Haven, and I will cast an Unnatural Growth.
I got a stroke for that.
Okay, and I'll pass the turn.
All right. And a Faithless Haven. All right, I'm going to draw. I'm going to scry a 3. Oh, yeah. You get. I take one more. Should have put a counter on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right, I'm at 7. Actually, that was not a bad draw. So I'm gonna put
How many on top?
just one. Now I'm going to Cathartic Pyre this. And then I'm going to all runs. 6, get some birdies, thank you. Untap.
And chapter 3, and has a good card on top.
Yep, chapter 3.
Mana value 5, yes.
Yep.
Your flashback deluges don't get there.
Does not work, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I sack this, I get a land. 3, 4, 5. Okay, that works out pretty well. I'll hit that land. Or do I want to... Sorry, I might want to cast this first. Cast my spell first. Sorry, if you haven't shuffled yet. Whatever, I already did it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not going to make a difference for me.
Yeah. It'll make a difference for me, kind of, but not really. So, I'm going to use my 5 mana after the field to burn down the house. Believe it or not, I am not going to choose the 5 damage mode. I'm going to get the 3 devils, but I'm also going to draw 2, lose 1. So draw 2, lose 1 magic card. And now, how much do I want to get aggressive? Toski is large. But I have to try to win the game somehow here. I'm just going to attack for 4. I'm going to leave 1 back.
I go to 16.
All right, pass to you. Yeah, just look at Toski, what it's done. It's just been incredible. If you have any kind of creatures, play 2 of them. 2 is probably enough, but...
Oh, attack for 7.
I think
doubles to 6 and gets a counter from the Ranger class.
I think I'll block and shoot you for
I'm
1.
at 15. You're up.
Okay, well, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'm just drawing a lot of lands.
And not had lands on top. That's interesting. Okay, I got an Allruns. I would like to time walk. I got some birdies, so I'll attack for 4.
I'm at 11.
If I had a haul, this is just over, but I do not. Tilt.
It might just be over anyway. Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm definitely in a great
Use the
position.
attack for 5.
Yeah, I'm going to leave back a devil again. I guess, do I die to, like, Blizzard, bro? You don't have those in your deck.
Yeah.
I don't think you have any fights in your deck. Okay, yeah, so attack for 5.
I go to 6.
All right, pass to you.
And then, yeah, and then you just have the doubles and
Ping
the
to you and
birds
hit you for 5. Well, I mean, if you have a creature on the ground, no, because it'll die and deal you damage. Yep.
I need a 0 power creature somehow.
This has been a tough battle, but I think I may have forced forced the game 3.
I had the Ranger class forever hit 1 creature off of it.
Yeah, unreal.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think maybe activating the Haven was bad. I did.
You didn't have it, huh?
No, I just had all lands. I
Oh,
just
well-
had nothing else to do.
Well, I mean, putting your counter on it, I could have just, my better play would have been to just, I had a sick play then. Dang it. I had such a sick play. So what I could have done, that would have been such a blow up, but I just didn't think that it was possible, is you just had the 1 wolf. I could have went blow up the land. I would have 2 lands left over because I had 4 total.
Yeah.
And then I Cathartic Pyre the 2/2. And then my 4/4 gets to freely block your tracker because it's just the 2/3 then.
Yep.
And then I get to just chump with that. Oh, I had such a sicker play. But I just figured if you had Snakeskin Veil, I don't even get the land. So I wouldn't have that spell available. And I couldn't Disdainful Stroke if you had something else. That was the last card in my hand. So there's a situation where just knowing that you have those cards in your deck makes me play different, which is bad. That's bad for me. But
I think that was a game actually where Ren would have been better than a Natural Growth.
Ren?
Yeah, because
No. I think Ren is a better card.
I would have made a blocker
Yeah.
for birds. I would have I get to use the +1 to actually have more bites at Ranger class.
Yeah. No, I just do not think the card is that good in this matchup. I think Ren is really good, but
So we've seen both sides of it.
yeah. I want to bring in these Frostbites on the draw, but I don't know what else I want to cut. I think it's between these.
Back to Versus Live. Had a bit of a technical issue there, but I think Justin got it all squared away.
All right.
He did. We're getting the thumbs up. So thanks you all for sticking around. We've got one more game to bring you. The final game for the marbles between Mono Green Aggro and Izzet Turns.
This is the ultimate cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Right. We left you in suspense.
We're just going to get right into it.
Yeah.
We're running late already with the break. So we got one more game. I'm going to be on the play.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's been so long that I think now we get to switch where I'm on the play, right?
That's not how this works.
Okay. Naturally, I go into an immediately unplayable hand, and I think this might be my first mulligan of the day with this deck.
Yeah.
It's a very consistent deck. I kept the one sketchy one that didn't have red, but it was on the play with 4 mana and a Memory Deluge, which is still reasonable. It is pretty consistent. The mana's not bad. And how about yours?
I will keep my hand.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Probably the worst hand I've had so far.
All right, I like that. So I'm down to 6. All right, this is a keeper. And now, what do we want to do? I think it's got to be one of these for our putbacks. I have more of this card, but this one's a little bit more versatile. I'm actually going to put that back this one. So.
Okay, I'll lead on a forest and pass the turn.
All right, that was a good draw. I got a haul, and I'll pass to you.
I will play Forest and a Lotus Cobra.
Okay. I will just play a land and pass to you.
Okay, I will play a Haven, make a green, play Kazandu Mammoth.
Okay.
Attack for 2.
I am going to take it and then Burning Hands this.
Okay, all snakes can avail the Mammoth.
Okay.
Gets a counter, you take 2. You're 18.
Untap. And I am just going to play this tapped and Burning Hands this. Yeah. Pass to you.
Play a forest, make a green, play a natural growth, attack for 4.
All right.
You're at 14.
14.
Pass the turn.
Ooh. Tough choice now. Tough choice. So I think I will just play a land and pass to you. Gonna be a tricky one.
Play a forest, make a green, animate Haven.
So you're floating a green?
Yeah, green's still in pool, but it's not snow mana, so.
Okay. Yep, that's fine.
Okay, go to combat.
Sure.
Attack for 12.
Or I guess I have to do this before, right? Because even if that stacks.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I have to do that. It's still inside of main phase 1 then, I guess?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, okay. So it's still your main phase, and I guess you have a red mana floating.
I have
Or
a green
green
yeah.
mana floating, yeah.
Okay, so it's still my main phase. I'm actually going to use that and play this back later.
Okay.
And attack you for 6.
Okay.
Puts you to 8.
8.
Pass the turn.
Big draw step for moi. Ooh. Oh, that was the worst possible. I'm in trouble. Oh, wait, I forgot to learn.
Yeah.
I forgot to learn. Okay, well.
Environmental sciences.
Yeah. Still rough, but.
Yeah, paying 2 mana for a land drop isn't great.
All right, I have an expressive iteration.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. I have this over here. I'll put this into my hand and this on bottom. Play a land and pass to you. Not great.
Okay, I will play Unnatural Growth.
Yeah, I guess I have to respond to this. You win the game. Oh, that was an anticlimactic game. Yeah, I had the battle. If I draw line 5, I get to do this. And then you're putting... That's like the only turn I could do it.
Yeah.
Because then you can replay that and then go with that. But yeah, just got me good. Got me good.
Actually, as soon as I played the growth, I was like, that was stupid. I should have just animated Haven, which was lethal. In my head, you were at 10 because you had cast the sciences, but you didn't do it that turn.
Yeah.
And this is 9. And so I just get to...
Oh, instead of animating this?
Yeah, because then if you have another divide by 0... You just bounce this and take 5, and you know I'm in worse shape. Whereas here, like you literally needed 2 pieces of interaction on 3 mana.
Yeah.
So you needed Frostbite, 2 mana removal spell,
or Frostbite and this, I guess.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made a judgment call. I don't think it really mattered. I kept this over all runs, but yeah, I never had time to cast all runs anyways. So all right, let me get you your marbles. That was kind of an anticlimactic game to come back to after our tech problem.
Maybe my hand was better than I thought. It was just both Veils, 2/2 drops, and some lands.
Yeah,
so that's just a nice, cheap hand. Just gets underneath you so easily.
It's like the only thing you'd hope for more is like that you have Toski and Veil. But yeah, overall, that was a nice one. And GG's.
It can be a little awkward looking at 2 Veils in your hand, thinking like, that's, I want threats, but they're just so good in the matchup.
Yeah, they are really absurd. But all right, everyone, that's going to do it for the show. I think the moral of the story is the deck can be beat. I don't think it's going to be at the level of and I don't think it's the final version either. So I think there's a little bit to learn from the deck, but also there's ways to attack it, and you made sure there was a way in each of your deck. But that's the thing is, you came prepared every deck. We didn't say when we were making this show, play the slow gruel version with Magda's and don't have disdainful strokes, and we'll just see if it's enough. I know I beat that deck. I know I beat Mono Black. And now I think all these decks have to transform into things that splash for disdainful stroke, play a lot of Redains. They got to come prepared, and then you can beat this. So if you want to play an Azika's Chariot deck out there, totally fine. Play some Toskies, play some counter spells, do something to prepare for it, and you should be okay.
Yeah, your mid-range deck is no longer the top of the metagame. That's all that means.
Yep, exactly.
We found the over-the-top deck. It is Izzet Turns. I think it'll stay in the metagame for a while.
Yeah.
And it's just a deck that you'll have to prepare for, but definitely a very beatable deck.
Very true. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for us. We're going to thank some subs, and we're going to thank some sponsors, and we're going to head out of here.
Okay, we got subs.
Skiffy, thank you very
We're all
much
thrown
for the sub.
Yes, thank you for that support. If any of you would like to support Star City Games in another way, you can join SCG Premium. $7.99 a month will get you access to exclusive content from our fantastic staff of content creators, as well as 5% off of sealed product, 10% off of singles, and 15% off of supplies. So head on over to starcitygames.com/join-premium. Sign up today.
Absolutely. And if you want to test out some of the knowledge that maybe you gained from this show, or just you've been playing a lot of Standard, the tour is back starting tomorrow. So we have 4 satellites going tomorrow and Saturday at all different time zones. If you go 4 and 2 or better, you qualify for that big tournament, that Sunday championship qualifier on Sunday. 5 and 1 will get you a bye. 6 and 0 will get you 2 buys. Plus, you'll get an invitation to the Roanoke Invitational here in over Halloween weekend, which is going to just be awesome. Really excited for that. That's a modern and standard format where you get to test your paper Magic skills and, probably look at your binder and be like, I need to buy everything. Yeah, because that's what it was for me. So if you want more information on that, go to starcitygames.com/SCG Tour online.
Yeah. If you want to update your collection by selling some of the cards that you no longer need, Star City Games is always buying, and the process has never been easier because there are so many ways to do it. You can use the buy list feature on the website. You can mail your cards into SCG and let them do the work for you. You can make an appointment and come into the store to do your business in person. And if your collection is big enough, you can make that appointment and have Star City Games come to you. So pick whichever works best for your situation. And always keep in mind that when trading your cards into SCG for store credit, you will get a 30% bonus.
Yep, absolutely. And speaking of bonus, our sale this week is bonus bucks. So you can get 10% bonus bucks on select items that you buy. It's most items, but there's a few things that are taken out of it. So if you want to go to starcitygames.com/sale, you can see what you can get a little kickback for if you buy some stuff from us.
Yeah, that kickback doesn't happen immediately. You'll get sent it after the sale is over, and you'll get an email when that the bonus bucks enter or get credited to your account. So just keep an eye out for that email.
And the sale does end Sunday at 11:59 p.m., so right going into Monday, so make sure to get those orders in by the weekend.
Yeah, and last but not least, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Coalesce Apparel. You can find their entire collection of t-shirts, hoodies, and stickers at coalesceapparel.shop. And be sure to use the gift code SCG when checking out to get 10% off of your purchase there as well. It's the Oko evolution of Oko shirt. It always gets you.
I know, you do beat it pretty often. Wu-Tang, they're nothing to mess around with, but apparently Oko messes around with everything. So
Corey is someone to mess with.
That's true. That's true. He does it often, and I hate it. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. This was a really fun week. The marbles are back to you. And now, as far as next week's go, there is a special treat. We got Brad and Todd in the booth. So Tuesday we got Todd, Thursday we got Brad. Should be a really fun show. I'm preparing for Worlds, so I will not be a part of it.
I'm looking forward to it so much.
I guess
literally anyone else across the table.
I guess Ross will be the other person, but we don't really care about that. We got Todd and Brad here, so it's going to be some exciting stuff. So we'll see you all later. It is technically Todd's marbles, so Tuesday you got to get them back. Keep them in this house, okay?
I got you.
It's going to be some tough stuff. So thanks, everybody, for watching. For Ross Merriam, I'm Corey Ballmeister. We'll see you later.